This is a part of an overall goal for self-government and building dual and contending power. St. Louis projects coined as the Black Power Blueprint have almost all of the elements of every organization and institution in our arsenal for completing the Black Revolution of the 1960s. The Black Power Blueprint projects are about self-determination. It's not about charity or building wealth for a few people. It's about uplifting the entire community, not one community at the expense of another. The Black Power Blueprint brings the community in. The labor value of African working class is going back to the interests of the African working class. This puts power in the hands of the African community, taking back land, buildings, and the value of our labor for the Black community and creating work for the African and Mexican contractors to rebuild the community. All the resources and labor staying within the community instead of leaving the community to benefit the white community. And the Black Power Blueprint pushes back against gentrification. In one short period of 12 months, the party has landed full force in the city of St. Louis, where we already positioned the international office of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement in a four-year short span. We now have the Office of the Chairman, the Office of the Deputy Chair, and we're registered Black Star Industries and the African People's Education and Defense Fund as a legal business entity here in St. Louis. These are the two incredible economic development entities that have come together to bring you the Black Power Blueprint. Building development means building Black power. There is an Uhuru House for the future use of the Aquaba Hall and the MPDOM Sunday mass meetings and the office space for our organizations. We secured the future of Uhuru G-Co Kitchen, Uhuru Bakery Cafe, and the future home of the African Independence Workforce Program that we will be developing in 2019. We secured the land for an outdoor vineyard to build the One Africa, One Nation marketplace that will showcase our Halloween programs, night markets, music events, and outdoor activities for all kinds. We consolidate the BSI and APDF housing units for the African Independent Workforce Program. We brought in Comrade Kitty Rowley, who's over the Director of the Office of Reparations and Economic Development for APSC, who has been here since August of last year, working side by side with the Office of the Deputy Chair. And although the Office of the Deputy Chair goal for 2017 was to build what we have and to make what we have productive, we could not pass up the opportunity to make the Chairman's vision a reality as he defined in the political report, putting revolution back on the agenda again, the APSP plenary January 2017, and I quote, "Africans must be influenced to combine with each other to begin grabbing up properties that have been abandoned and discarded in our community as part of a process of chasing us out, undermining property values and opening the door to vultures for the colonizing nation to easily cheap acquisition. We must help the people to understand that groups of Africans coming together can bring to acquire property in the community through economic cooperation. We can also create housing and other kinds of economic cooperatives. This can be part of a foundation for cooperatives, socialist, influence economics. Our political task is to teach the people to be contemporaries of all kinds of dependency. From day one, since we purchased the Uhuru House on West Florissant Avenue and began the renovation process, the imagination and the confidence of the masses has grown, not believing before that we could create something like this for ourselves. As the chairman states, the party's economic institutions are not only significant for what they bring directly to the party and party-related organizations and their committees. They are also important for what they bring to the masses of our people, beyond the possibility of employment. Our economic institutions are also important for what they represent to the psyche of the Africans who may have lost collective self-confidence as a result of the cruelty and colonial capitalism that denies Africans the ability to easily initiate successful life-creating or economic ventures. Our economic institution speaks to the possibility of Africans to achieve economic self-reliance, to be in charge of our own affairs. Every day that a young African passes our fitness center or one of our furniture stores or experiences our foods and pies enterprise, walks into the doors of our consignment shops, make a purchase of our clothing from our clothing store, Uzi, read our newspaper or hear our radio station, that African experience a sense of self-capacity and self-worth that is continually under attack by the normal existence as a colonial subject. So the Black Power Blueprint funding campaign, I really want to recognize Chairwoman Penny Hess, who took the call to lead up this campaign as my office was, just entrenched in the major work of the construction. She came in and led the funding campaign for the Black Power Blueprint, and it has taken off. We have birthday funds, we have weekly webinars, we have all kind of things that we have created our own newspaper through Agitprop and Lisa Watson. We have so many things that we've initiated through the Black Power Blueprint. So the Black Power Blueprint is about the people. It's not just about a campaign, and the funding committee continues to push the envelope with new and creative ways to raise funds through these great programs and projects. As a result of understanding that the Office of the Deputy Chair and the Office of Reparations and Economic Development had gotten from behind the desk. We are actually out in the community talking with all the different players in St. Louis, really building relationships with the whole community, the neighborhood associations, the LRA process. We're just out in the community, touching everybody to let them know that we're here in St. Louis. And we want to really encourage everyone to get to St. Louis. We want everybody to be a part of making history and to complete everything that we have going on coming into 2019. We are continuing to strengthen the Office of the Deputy Chair in St. Louis. Tara Masimba is the ODC leadership in St. Louis. Kake, Brandy are also a part of the office in St. Louis. And right now, Musa has come down for the Congress in St. Louis, and he's also a part of the Office of the Deputy Chair. So right now we have, I want to just list all the different properties that we have purchased through the Black Power project. We have the Uhuru House at 4101 West Florissant in St. Louis. We have a fourplex apartment at 4358 College Avenue, and we closed on that in December of 2017. The African People's Education and Defense Fund, we have Uhuru GCO located at 3723 Goodfellow Avenue. That building is approximately 12,000 square feet. We're building across from the Uhuru House. We have demolished those two commercial buildings, and now we have a space where we can hold our One Africa, One Nation marketplace. It's just been a tremendous process just being here over the last year and just seeing the work of the people and seeing what we have done has changed the conditions and the thoughts of the people in the community, and they're just embracing everything that we stand for. So I just want to say that Missouri is surrounded by 8 states. Drive by one end to the other on the city interstate, and one sees the sign branching off from Kansas City, East St. Louis, Chicago, Tulsa, Memphis, and more. We are establishing the Midwest front of the African People's Socialist Party and the African Revolution. Uhuru. So what I want to do now is I wanted to show a video. I just really want to thank everybody for your contributions and your time and everything to help build the Black Power Blueprint. So we're going to show a quick video and saying thank you to everyone. Uhuru.
Because of you, the Black Power Blueprint is rapidly moving forward, bringing a future of self-determination to the African community of St. Louis. With more than 800 contributions from you, we exceeded our Phase 2 goal of $50,000. Thanks to you, we now have our beautiful Aquaba Hall in the Uhuru House that's quickly became a real community hub on West Florissant Avenue. The Black Power Blueprint is the only thing that addresses the serious disparities in our community by bringing political and economic power into the hands of the African working class. Thanks to you, we were able to demolish the condemned buildings across the street from the Uhuru House to make way for the One Africa, One Nation Marketplace and the community garden. Thanks to you, we have installed a 50-foot flagpole that will fly the 25 feet red, black, and green flag as an inspiring symbol of a future of justice, prosperity, and liberation for African people here and around the world. We need your contributions to install the outdoor lighting and to pave and fence the lots to complete the beautiful outdoor vineyard space and the community garden. Because of you and our amazing volunteers, we are in the process of rapidly renovating a fourplex apartment building to house our African Independent Workforce Program that will train African workers returning to our community from the colonial prison system. Your generous contribution enabled the Black Power Blueprint to be on track for our launch of Phase 3, the renovation of our Uhuru Jiko kitchen, bakery, and cafe beginning January 2019. Hundreds of you from the white community have united with this opportunity to contribute as a powerful stance of reparation to the Black community. We can see the beginnings of an entire community coming together for self-determination and power over our own lives. We really appreciate your continued support to make these economic institutions a reality for the people.
Again, I just want to thank everybody for your contribution and your continued support of the Black Power Blueprint. And just to say that this has been a tremendous project that we want to duplicate all over the world, not just here in St. Louis. We want to keep it going, and we really heed the call of Union de Barrio. You know, anything that we can do to help, you know, in the future for your economic capacity, we are here to share any of our knowledge and understanding with you as well. So right now, I want to introduce Comrade Kitty Riley, who is a member of the National Central Committee of the African People's Solidarity Committee, led by Chairwoman Penny Hess. She joined the African People's Solidarity Committee after meeting the African People's Socialist Party in Eugene, Oregon in 1979, and has the honor of working with in his historical campaigns of the party, including the campaign to free Desi Wood and smash colonial violence, and the African National Prison Organization Solidarity Committee. Kitty is a director of the ORED, the African People's Office of Reparations and Economic Development. She leads the role of all solidarity work in the party's institutions, working directly under the leadership of myself in the Office of the Deputy Chair. She directs how APSC will carry out the party's goal to win reparations from the white community to the African Revolution. She has had the honor to work directly under the leadership of myself for the past 14 months during the party's historical fight for liberated territory and dual power, known as the Black Power Blueprint in St. Louis. Uhuru, welcome Kitty Riley, please.
Uhuru, it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Deputy Chair. I want to salute Chairman Omali Ishitela, my leadership, chair of the African People's Socialist Party at this historic 7th Congress, advancing the African Revolution, led by the African working class. I want to appreciate and salute the chairman's political report to this 7th Congress as, you know, a gift to the world, a gift to humanity, a gift to white people. The chairman has given us the science of African internationalism that has defined the only principal role for white people in relationship to African people in the colonized of the world, and that's through solidarity and unity with reparations and material solidarity. Uhuru. Uhuru. I also want to salute Deputy Chair Onezene Shatella, whose dedication to the liberation of African people, you know, was the motivating factor to carry out the chairman's vision with the bold initiative of the Black Power Blueprint. The Black Power Blueprint that's permanently changed the political landscape in this country and in St. Louis, liberating territory all over St. Louis, and built the deepest unity within those of us in the Solidarity Committee and white people from all over the world with reparations to want to really give back the stolen resources that are housed in our communities and be able to participate in this historic campaign of the parties. And I will say it's been quite a year. And as modest as Deputy Chair is, her leadership is the paramount of what a cadre does. I mean, she came here, the chairman, you know, wanted the Uhuru House in St. Louis because he had built organization here. She identified the building, but it was not as pleasant as calculating the properties. I mean, it was quite a task. It was by herself, navigating St. Louis itself, navigating the politics in St. Louis. You know, going into a building that had no floors, falling through the floors, the bricks down in the back, every window blown out, or no window at all. Doors not up, filthy, you know, anyone who does that kind of work, concrete dust and sheetrock dust all over the place. Couldn't put a fan on in the summer, or you would suffocate with all the dust blowing up. No heat in the winter, all the way through to January. And you're from Florida. I mean, this was really, you know, the dedication and the work. Where are people going to live? Solve the problems of the housing. Personally solve the problems of the housing. And then tried to make the housing work. And I mean, just institution and all the work that Deputy Chair has done since assigned to be over the economic political front of the party, of creating the institutions so they could be reproduced, bringing science and organization to them, all came into play because for me, it was like a helicopter flew by, came down in St. Louis and reproduced every party organization, every institution of the party, or at least a lot of them, right at once. And there you have completely liberated territory. I mean, it was just a phenomenal process. I really, really want to salute you. Yes.
I just want to say that, you know, as an international organization, we was able to do this because, you know, we had forces on the ground here. And had we not had forces on the ground, and I really want to give a shout out to Comrade Fofi, who, when we first came here, I can't even, when we first came here, she opened her home up to me, you know, I mean, just gracefully, and she actually gave me her bedroom to sleep in, you know, and when I finally found my own place, our own place, she still wouldn't let me stay there because she didn't want me to stay there by myself. I mean, it's just her generosity and the party knowing that we had to build in St. Louis and we had forces on the ground here to make this happen. So I just really want to salute 4 Feet as well and say thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Uhuru. And it couldn't be a greater time to be able to appreciate the donors and all the work that everybody has done to support the Black Power Blueprint project, like you were saying. You know, the institutions of Black Star Industries and Uhuru Foods and Pies and all the huge fairs that people were doing and the weekly markets and, you know, contributing to continue Black Star Industries' ability to expand and develop. all the staff and the comrades in the African People's Education and Defense Fund, you know, all the work that people were doing and to try to profit so that APEDF institutions could be reproduced in St. Louis. And all the donors to APEDF and to Black Star Industries, Africans 1 Billion Strong, has been really profound. And of course, I have to acknowledge the leadership of Chairwoman Penny Hess, who blew things out of the water with the weekly webinars, uniting people politically. And our chair, Jesse Neville, and the magnificent Uhuru Solidarity Movement that said, we're going to double our pledge this year, right in mid-year. Yes. We're going to absolutely double our pledge so we can go strictly to the Black Power blueprint. So it's been really phenomenal.
So, you know, we hear a lot about the chairman and what he does for African and African people all over the world, but he is actually a donor as well to his own movement. So we really want to recognize him and bring him up and give him a special gift. Chairman, can you come up, please?
This is completely unexpected, and but this is the Congress, so I guess we can do this kind of stuff, you know. We can't overstate the work that's been done by Comrade Onozene Ishitala. At one juncture, there was an assumption that some kind of nepotism was existing inside our party, that some kind of, by family or birth or something like that, people ascended to leadership, and that Comrade Onozene Ishitala owed her leading role in the African People's Socialist Party to the fact that she is my wife. But anybody who's ever worked with us knows that is absolutely and totally untrue. That this comrade, one of the things that makes Comrade Onozene Ishitala so important, so significant, is because fundamentally, even though it may seem contradictory to her sometimes, she is a materialist. And by that, I mean to convey an understanding that her position, I had an uncle once who was the toughest guy in St. Petersburg, Florida. And he used to say that a conversation is the cheapest commodity on the block. Everybody's got one. So just talking doesn't mean anything. It's what do you produce? And Comrade Onozene Ishitala has taken the political reports and every report that we've done to show the way forward. And she's meticulously gone through it line by line and then say, how do we represent this in the world? And when she came here to St. Louis, she left my house to do that for a week. And I didn't see her for 10 months afterwards. She came here, you saw how this Uhuru House looked when we first came here. There were no bathrooms, there were no toilets, no heat in the winter, no air conditioning in the summertime, and she endured all of that. I mean, and I really cannot articulate the significance of that. Then she has created this magnificent office of hers that still has a lot of work to do because we're still recruiting people to take on some of these leading roles. And as you can imagine, the Office of Economic Development, that's not a small thing. And it's not offices that can be entrusted to just anybody. Because every revolutionary movement we've had in the past, the assault on the revolution has come through the economic front. whether that was Marcus Garvey, or whether that's the Black Panther Party, whether that's everything that we've ever done, the government attacks the economic capacity of the movement. So this was one of the vulnerable places in the movement, and this work that's been done, and I don't want to limit the influence of the deputy chair to just the economic work. She has waged a serious struggle within all the structures of the party, and she has required of us, of everybody in the party, the same thing that she requires for herself. She's not somebody who sits on the sideline and then some commanders way say, do this, do that, do this. All you got to do is participate in any meeting that we've ever done and hear the reports that come from that office, and what you will see is concrete manifestation of work done to pursue the aims of the liberation of our people. So I just wanted to say that and to reinforce what has already been said about this comrade, and I'm glad to say that she is my comrade, and I don't know what's in that bag, but like James Brown said it best, I guess. Say he got a brand new bag. What is this? What is this? Don't hold it. Hold that. Okay. All right. Look at that, will you? This is very, very beautiful, and I think loaded with symbolism. Is something to be able to look at Africa and see yourself. All right. Uhuru. Uhuru.
Yes, I hope they didn't. So, we want to also recognize Maureen Wagner. Can you come up, please? You wanna say something?
Uhuru. Comrade Maureen is an Omali Yeshitela donor. That's our highest level of donor. It means $25,000 or more a year, and we welcome more and more people to be Omali Yeshitela donors. And want to really give you a gift this year. You know.
Uhuru, thank you, Deputy Chair. I just really want to salute the chairman, the 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party. First one was in 1981 in Oakland, California. I want to salute Deputy Chair for all your leadership, my leadership in APSC, Chairwoman Penny Hess, and also Kitty Riley, who leads the Office of Reparations and Economic Development, which I have the honor to participate in, which is one of the reasons I can give $25,000 a year or more. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Our comrades in Solidarity who give large donations understand deeply the resource question and the fact that we have all the stolen resources in our communities, the ability to get it through jobs that overpay, and also through social wealth handed down generation to generation. So it's a real stance of solidarity. We also have Mark Anderson, who could not be here today, and we just want to shout out to Mark Anderson, who's been an Omali Yeshitela donor for many years, and he also contributes, other things in his volunteer capacity, and, really makes programs happen. He's just a really generous donor. He loves the party, loves the work of the African People's Socialist Party. And we also want to, let's give a shout out to Mark Anderson. Uhuru. Uhuru. We also have a comrade who, inherited resources, like 3 years ago and became an Amalia Shatella donor for like 3 years straight. And Comrade Ruby Gilderson that works in the African People's Education and Defense Fund at the Philadelphia Furniture Store. She'll be here Monday, so we give a shout out to Ruby. Uhuru. We also have our latest Amalia Shatella donor for 2018, and that's Janice Cant from the Office of the Deputy Chair. Uhuru. Janice Cant.
Uhuru. I just want to thank the chairman, deputy chair, my leadership, and Kitty Riley, Penny Hess, and say that when I look in this mirror, I get to see the future. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Uhuru. All right. And from the Africans' 1 Billion Strong Donor Campaign, we want to extend a gift to our leadership, Deputy Chair Ona Zinaya Shatella, who not only is a big donor, has led to develop the actual capacity for this economic self-reliance of the African People's Socialist Party, and that's the key. Thank you so much for everything you do, all your leadership, developing all the economic work, political work. Thank you. Uhuru. And I have one more donor, Patrice Lumumba level, and it is Comrade Allison Haney. Allison Haney. Allison is the Secretary General of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and along with Chairwoman Penny Hess, really launched and developed most of our reparations, material solidarity campaigns and institutions. Uhuru!
Uhuru! I'm as shocked as the chairman. Uhuru! I want to salute this magnificent 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party, salute Chairman Amalia Shatella, our leadership, and Deputy Chair Ona Zinaya Shatella for your profound leadership. And every time we're called on to pay reparations, the chairman has armed us so profoundly with African internationalism that we can say as North Americans that when we pay reparations, we're striking 1,000 blows against white power and upholding the liberation of the African nation. Uhuru.
Can we have the comrades, that Suches and Ollie Hutley and Janice Bryant come and sit at our give back table?
So right now, we want to also give gifts to Union de Barrio and Charles Barron. Can you please come up? Yeah. All of you. All of you can come up. All of you can come up. Yeah, but come on, you can say something right quick.
Uhuru, brothers and sisters, I bring you greetings from New York City, the Big Apple that never gave African people a bite. But we do want to say Uhuru to the 7th Congress, to my chairman, Chairman Amalia Shatella, and my vice chair. My name is also Mr. Inez Barron, which is my wife, who's the council member in East New York. So I bring you greetings on her behalf, too. And I just wanted to thank you because we did win re-election. We win re-election by an overwhelming vote. You know, last time I ran for the state assembly, 6,000 people came out because Trump beat Hillary, which was a good thing because it advances the revolution. And now 14,000 people came out in my district. 14,000, 8,000 more came out from the last time because they're sick of Trump and they're focusing on that. But whatever it takes to get them out, now we can get them to be more revolutionary. So with that, Of the 8,000 more that came out, we got 7,500 of those votes.
Wow.
And our opposition only got 500. So we just say, Uhuru, Chairman, you know, we are fighting in New York City. Ours is more focused on the electoral arena, but the more revolutionaries we get involved in that electoral arena, the more we can address the question of power and economic self-determination. So straight ahead, brother man.
Just go down there, they'll give it to you. Yes, they can come. I don't know who want to speak.
Yeah, well, it is our profound honor, again, to participate and contribute also to the Black Power Blueprint. We've been keeping an eye and looking at the example that you all, the example that you give us and inspire us to continue to say we need to build our own institutions. And in fact, the concept of dual and contending power is one that is found even within our own political concepts, because we have had this relationship for so long. So we thank you, and it's our honor to always help out and contribute in the little that we can as well to this blueprint, and continue to build that in unity with you all. Thank you very much.
I just want to say a few words here. I am so humbled to be in this place to learn what it is to be free, to learn that that we will win, like the chairman said. We will win. And I want to appreciate knowing the chairman, because when I met him, I didn't, I wasn't too keen on a lot of things, but he taught me a lot. And that was during the time that I was in struggle to defend my son, who was on the verge of being executed by the state. And so I learned, first of all, yes, what is self-determination? And he taught me, Chairman O'Malley, okay, that we have to have a place, a space to be able to plan, scheme, whatever we have to do. And that space still stands. I learned that from the African People's Socialist Party. I learned a lot, okay? And also I learned from my organization, Unión del Barrio, and I really appreciate, Unión del Barrio, that stands for liberation, for the struggle for us to be free, that we cannot live without our land, our resources, that we have to fight for what it belongs to us, okay? And we will fight to the end. Tierra y libertad. Tierra y libertad. That's what it is. Land and liberty. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru. Now we begin calling up our sustaining donors for 2018. And When we call your name, please come up to the table, and Suches and Ali will give you your gifts. We have wonderful gifts this year, give-backs. We have beautiful little wallets, handmade in Mexico, and we have beautiful revolutionary dog tags. Vanguard up.
Vanguard up.
All right.
So we have Akile, Valerie Brony,
Janet Calcaterra,
Janet Capron,
Wendy Craig, come on up.
Raya,
Raya Fogarty,
Sandy Thompson,
Joe will be here Monday.
Nana Ya,
Uhuru,
Janine, Opa, Penny Hess, Ann Hurst, Jackson, Gazi Kozo,
Marissa Laufer, Carol Locke, Casey Mackey, Stephanie Midler. Come on now, don't be shy, go up there. Dexter Malimwingo.
Hallie, Renee, Jesse Neville, Chairman,
Mara Ratu, David Reardon, Wendy Snyder, and take a gift. Wendy, take also a gift for Ron Stade.
Betty Soto, Connor, Fofi, Lisa and Dan Watson Tance, Pete,
And that's who's here today. Those are the donors that we understand are here today.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Uhuru. And, yeah, Lisa would take gifts for Dan Tance as well. These are families that donate. Really appreciate it. We really want to do a shout out to Alyssa Afanina, Mustafa Akbar, Kafira Barron, Johan Bedingfield, Lisa Burgess, Harris Daniels, Dorothy Eaton,
Matt Daniels, Patrick, Leo Field,
Field from Minnesota, Miriam Gabriel from Jersey City,
Joel Hamburger, Charles Humphrey, Jesse McCall, Erica Miller,
Vanessa Milano, Joe Montgomery, California, Donna Nassar, Fallon Lee O'Brien,
Pam Page, Dante Price,
Magdalene San Milan, Bunker Seifert, Zahir Smith, Bethany Stamey, R.L. Starr, Diane Tournay, Janet Van Fleet,
and Angela Waller, Kenya.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
A shout out, they're not here today, sustaining donors. And one thing that's really special about this year is that during the whole webinars, Black Power Blueprint, that was held weekly, there were so many comrades. There were new people from Australia, Canada. People were really inspired by the Black Power Blueprint and donating. And there were also comrades who donated constantly and who also donated large levels. And if I don't have that list, I'm going to kill myself. Well, I'll tell you one thing. David Reardon, Redbeard, is one of the large donors. Bobby Wittenberg and David Reardon. David's here today, and go to see Janice Bryant, who has a silver number 7. Besides, yes, a silver number 7 in honor, in recognition of really supporting week after week after week our the webinars for the Black Power Blueprint. And I don't have the list. Okay. And another person is Bobby Wittenberg, and there are others, over 1,000. And I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't have the names. But Amanda, I don't know if you can call it up on your cell phone. We'll get back to it because we have a special gift and a special shout out to everyone who gave over $1,000. Alyssa Afronina, Bobby Wittenberg, we got David Reardon, and others were like even 2,000 or more. Lisa Watson to come up for a number 7. Allie Haney gave over 1,000, almost 1,800. And I'll get more and more of the names, comrades, of the people who are here today. Allie, come and get a beautiful number 7. Lisa Watson, come and get one. All right.
Let's keep it moving.
I love it. All right. And Bobby, we're going to send you stuff. A big shout out to Bobby. Yes. Uhuru. Maureen Wagner. Over $1,000. Janice Kant, come up and get your number 7s. Bunker Seifert. We'll mail to him. He lives in Oakland. Clifton Edmonds. Johan Bedingfield. Shout out to Johan Bedingfield. These are $1,000 or more donors to the webinars of the Black Power Blueprint. And that doesn't mean that we don't appreciate, you know, everything everyone has donated. Uhuru. Thank you. And now our basket carriers will distribute our beautiful wallets to everyone who is here today, because a lot of people here today, I didn't mean basket carriers, I'm sorry. Ali and Suchez will give everyone our give back, our special give back of the wallets that were made for us in Mexico. Appreciate because people have donated other amounts, and also for coming here today, people who donate time, volunteers. So please accept that gift. It's the wallets.
Come on up, you everybody.
Uhuru. All right. Well, now we're beginning. I'm you. You're going to start the appeal. I'll make sure that he's going to give it out. All right? And I'm going to do the stage.
So I bring up T'Challa. So while you're, can everybody come up and get your wallet? Nope.
No, we have to move. We have to move. Yeah, we have to move now, the whole program.
Okay. So right now, I want to introduce T'Challa Masimba. So as this comrade sponsor, it was clear to me from day one that he wanted to be a leader, not just in name only, but in practice. Because as we know, work without practice is dead, and anyone that knows this comrade knows his pride. He prides himself in the liberation of African and African people every day, and always searching for answers to carry out African internationalism in his work and home. This comrade decided that he wanted to become a full-time organizer, quit his colonial job, and now he is in APDF BSI Economic Development Director for the Office of the Deputy Chair. And I must say, he has not looked back one day. He has a profound grip of African internationalism and is a materialist and a scientific socialist, and leads and carries out the work accordingly. His leadership comes through with captivating reports on the Black Power Blueprint at events, community, MPDOM rallies. He represents the party in Black Star Industries and APDF at community neighborhood association meetings and city and ward economic development meetings, challenging the opportunist electoral officials and leading the way for African workers' power in St. Louis. So I want to bring up Comrade T'Challa Masimba. So I have the honor of introducing this next comrade, and I just can't say enough about Penny Hess, who is the chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee and author of Overturning the Culture of Violence. Chairwoman Penny is a member of the APSC since its founding in 1976 by the African People's Socialist Party, working directly under the leadership of Chairman Omali Ishitela for over 40 years. Penny Hess was the first white person to internalize African internationalism, taking up the call to build the movement for white reparations to African people. Penny has forged the stance of solidarity in APSC and the world. She speaks and organizes throughout the U.S. and Europe to educate white people about the history of colonialism and slavery that white people have historically benefited from and participated in, and how white people can be a part of rectifying this relationship to the rest of the humanity through reparations. Chairwoman Penny Hess.
Uhuru, comrades. Uhuru to the 7th Party Congress of the African People's Socialist Party. I am honored to be here. First, we want to start off with a video to demonstrate why it is that we have made a commitment to the liberation of African people in alliance with all of the oppressed people of the world. We want to recognize Charles Oliver for this video. Let's roll.
There's a train that comes from Namibia and Malawi. There's a train that comes from Zambia and Zimbabwe. There's a train that comes from Angola and Mozambique, from Lesotho, from Botswana, from Swaziland, from all the hinterlands of Southern and Central Africa. This train carries young and old African men who are conscripted to come and work on contract in the gold and mineral mines of Johannesburg and its surrounding metropoli. 16 hours or more a day for almost no pay. Deep, deep, deep down in the belly of the earth, when they are digging and drilling for that shiny, mighty, evasive stone, or when they dish that mishmash mash food into their iron plates with the iron shovel, or when they sit in their stinky, funky, filthy, flea-ridden barracks and hostels. They think about the loved ones they may never see again because they might already have been forcibly removed from where they last left them, or wantonly murdered in the dead of night by roving and marauding gangs of no particular origin. We are told. They think about their lands and their herds that were taken away from them with the gun and the bomb and the tear gas and the Gatling and the cannon. And when they hear that choo-choo train, a chugging and a pumping and a smoking and a pushing and a pumping, crying and a steaming and a chicken and a they always cuss and they curse the coal train that brought them to Johannesburg.
We have created the Black Power Blueprint because we are very serious about overcoming the grave disparities in this country and city between the conditions faced by white people and by Africans. The Black Power Blueprint is a struggle for African community economic and political power. It is against the system that is responsible for our poverty and powerlessness. It is this powerlessness that is responsible for the fact that the average household wealth for a white family is 22 times greater than the wealth of an average African household. It is the absence of power that is responsible for the huge gap in the lifespan of African and white people in the U.S. and in St. Louis. There are few African-created job opportunities in our community. We are confronted with massive decay of the housing stock that has been left unattended and which is difficult for the African population to acquire for shelter and industry. We are opposed to the idea that the best response to these conditions is some kind of welfare. We are convinced that the best approach to the development of our communities is self-determination, power in the hands of our community. We believe in reparations from white people to repair the historic theft of labor and resources from black people. These resources form the basis of social wealth inherited by generations of white people at our expense. We believe that reparations from white people is a positive stand that allows white people to join in genuine solidarity with African people and the majority of humanity. This approach differs from those who only focus on handouts. We believe that an equitable return of resources that goes directly into programs that provide collective economic empowerment is the best and just way forward. Even black elected officials are incapable of truly representing our communities because of the absence of an independent community economic base. This fact makes black politicians more susceptible to the wishes of white capitalists and big moneyed interests over the interests of our impoverished communities. The Black Power Blueprint allows for everyone, African people ourselves as well as our friends, to achieve a dignified success that upholds the integrity of our community and contributes to stabilizing development that serves black working people. As a consequence, this will benefit the entire city in 1,000 different ways. This is why we need Black Power Blueprint.
Africa. Hold on, comrades. Let's give it up for the leadership of the African Revolution, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And Anna Zinga, who led an incredible struggle against the Portuguese, and all the African warriors, Harriet Tubman. We have one in our lifetime. Give it up for Deputy Chair Onezene Yeshitela. We want to say that the economic program of the African People's Socialist Party, recognizing that all politics, all economics is just concentrated politics. All politics is just concentrated economics, you know, we want to recognize that this has been an incredible campaign we refer to as the Black Power Blueprint. It is a project that distinguishes itself from any project on the planet, we believe. It is not just an attempt to create some economic enclave or what we call an economy on the plantation. Our objective is to govern. Our objective is to seize power, and we see that Black Power Blueprint as the economic basis to fund a complete revolution for African people to be free. And this is the distinguishing thing about this. This is it's not an attempt to achieve some kind of integration into the social system. We want African people to be free, to pursue an independent economy, and to struggle for control over the resources that will give us the capacity to produce and reproduce life for ourselves. So this is the Black Power Blueprint. This is a project that has been led by the African working class and by the Party of the African Working Class. You see those two buildings fall. You see volunteers who have made this possible. We had to, as was stated by Deputy Chair Onizene Yeshitela, we had to go out into the community, and we had to really fight for people to be a part of this, and we did everything we could to make that happen. And it has been an incredible project. We didn't just go look for, quote unquote, big companies, professional, developers. We found Africans who have the skills to do this, who get ignored by everybody else, who can't even find work. And that's why we say that it is the African working class. It is the workers who produce all the value in society. And they built this Black Power Blueprint project. And we want to bring them into organization so that, we don't just want to employ people, although we want to do that, but we want to bring people into political life, into organization, so that they can become part of the struggle, so that in the process of transforming the world, they themselves too can become transformed, and to bring people into this project of national liberation in every way that we can. So this is not a Black Wall Street. This is not a way to achieve more black bosses. This is an anti-colonial struggle, and it is right here on the ground in St. Louis. The chairman has put forth this notion. He has introduced this notion to the Black liberation struggle of dual and contending power. We believe that we don't want to get caught in a liberation struggle without the capacity to govern for ourselves. And so these institutions give us the ability to learn the process of self-government, to raise resources, and to bring people into political life. This is an outstanding project. I'm happy to be a part of it. I think we have to continue to give African people especially, we have to make this happen. We know that much of this was done with reparations money, but we have to give everything we can to contribute to our own liberation. And this is the project that is doing it, not only in St. Louis, but in the entire world. So that is my call. I'll turn it over to Chairwoman Penny Hess. Thank you, comrades.
Thank you to Charwa. Unity through reparations. Unity through. As the chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, the organization of white people organized and led by the African People's Socialist Party and Chairman Omali Yeshitela, I want to say that it is a profound honor to be here today. It is humbling. It is an honor. And salute to the 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party, the Vanguard, the advanced detachment of the African working class and the African Revolution. Salute to Deputy Chair Onizene Yeshitela and her incredible office, all of the comrades who make up the team, and that struggles for and makes a reality that the economic and political are one every single day. And to the one that carried out the vision of Chairman Omali Yeshitela for the Black Power Blueprint. And especially I want to salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela, under whose leadership I have had the honor of working for 42 years since the African People's Solidarity Committee has formed. And throughout all of those years, I have seen that Chairman Omali Yeshitela fought for one thing: to keep the African Revolution alive and to complete the African Revolution of the 60s, and for the total and complete liberation of Africa and African people everywhere. Chairman Omali Shatella solved the problems of the revolution. He developed African internationalism, which shows and proves scientifically that capitalism and America were built through the assault on Africa, the kidnapping of African people, and the enslavement of African people, the genocide against the indigenous people, the theft of this land, and colonial domination of the peoples on the planet Earth. And that white people, all white people, sit on this pedestal of the oppression of African people, and we have voluntarily carried out the violence of the state, of the white power state. We have enthusiastically and voluntarily carried that out to benefit ourselves for the last 600 years. And I just want to say that this brought Chairman Omali Shatella to the conclusion that there must be an African People's Solidarity Committee. It is part of the strategy for African liberation by taking the voice of white people into the belly of imperialism and parasitic capitalism in our own voice, the voice of the African Revolution. We can voice that. We are African internationalists. But also to say that reparations, which is the work of the African People's Solidarity Committee, is about taking back the stolen resources and turning it back over to the African Revolution. And the existence of APSC can never be undone. This is an historic precedent in the history of the world that for the first time enables us as white people to stand on the side of the African working class, African liberation, and by extension, oppressed and colonized peoples of the world, and to be part of the future. So I just want to say again, Uhuru. We're going to watch another video really quickly, and I salute again this 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party. Uhuru.
You didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't have anything to do with it. Slavery is both our legacies. It's mine and it's yours. You inherited the wealth of slavery, and I inherited the poverty of slavery. I am determined to change this legacy that's been left up to me. If you don't change yours for yourself, I'm going to change yours too. So it's best for you to join this one and both of us stand.
The struggle to make honest reparations to African people means we come to terms with the brutal truth of the world as it really is, as experienced by oppressed peoples of this world. Reparations acknowledges the millions of Africans who were ripped out of their land and civilization, who were chained body to body in the holds of ships, brought violently to labor for free on this land stolen from the indigenous people, so that you and I could enjoy a lifestyle we assume to be our birthright. Reparations acknowledges the millions of human beings severed from language and culture, from home and family, mother from child, to produce the wealth for us so that our families could rest on a foundation of seemingly unassailable security. Reparations acknowledges the fact that our grandparents held lynchings of African men and women whose tormented bodies hung from trees as the centerpiece of North American entertainment enjoyed by thousands of us. Reparations is not charity. Reparations lets white people acknowledge that, yes, life on the tortured backs of humanity is intolerable, and that our existence as parasites sucking the blood of the peoples of the world is unendurable. Therefore, reparations to African people is in our interest. That in the culture of imperialism, The pursuit of mindless and obligatory happiness can only be purchased with drugs, alcohol, consumerism, conformity, and meaningless pleasure to mask the terrible despair and pain of colonial reality which ceaselessly rises to the surface of our beings. The struggle for white people's reparations to African people acknowledges the inevitable course of history in which those who have suffered and suffocated as the cornerstone of this corrupt system must turn the gun on U.S. imperialism, not to perpetrate violence, but to end it. And that if we are ever to stand in solidarity with African people and the peoples of the world in an honest way, we must carry the weight of our inherited past and present. The children of the slave masters facing the children of the enslaved. We recognize the fundamental reality that our long, violent, parasitic relationship with African people underlies the truth that Africans created the foundation on which our stolen house rests, and that any struggle against U.S. imperialism is necessarily bound to the leadership of African workers in the struggle for independence and socialism. Reparations recognizes that revolution is not waged on empty words or ideas of racism, but in the real seizure of political power, resources, and means of production as the basis of Black power to the African community. And that North American people can unite with our genuine interest in the destruction of this system by building a movement to destroy the resource and power base of U.S. imperialism from within our front, where those resources have been hoarded, reparations into the hands of the African Revolution. Reparations recognizes that only the African People's Socialist Party, the Vanguard, the Advanced Detachment, can solve the problems left to the world by the death grip of parasitic capitalism in the struggle, no matter how difficult, to end the pain of half a millennium of terror through self-determination, self-government, and power, to make sure no vicious terrorist armed with weapons of mass destruction and hideous ideas in their heads can ever hurt any African person ever again. The leadership of the organized African working class will end the system of oppressors and the oppressed, turn the past into power, science into poetry for the people, African internationalism into the currency of the workers, restoring an earth without borders where all human beings can live, no one at the expense of others. The struggle for white people's reparations to African people allows us to become new communist human beings for whom the suffering of any child on this planet is as painful as the suffering of our own child, where our interests are one with the interest of colonized workers for whom there is no rest until African independence is achieved, U.S. imperialism is destroyed, and power is in the hands of the people. Build the movement for white people's reparations to African people. Uhuru. Reparations now!
Okay, so we have Deputy Chair and Bakari Olatunji.
I just really want to acknowledge Comrade Kyle Weiss, who produced that amazing video, Reparations Now.
So right now, we're going to do our pledge drive levels. The PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint. No, about Penny and
Uhuru, comrades. So what did y'all think about them great videos? Let's give it up again. Uhuru. I was in St. Louis last September, and I was at the Uhuru House when it was, I'm going to not recognize the building come this Monday. So it'll be a new phase for me, but anybody who hasn't been here should be impressed by the work that's done, because I think these slides, as beautiful as they are, did not represent the really groundbreaking work that went into building Black Power Blueprint over this last year. So I just want to say those things. I just thought the videos and the presentations were beautiful. Uhuru.
So right now, we're going to kick off our pledge drive, and we have a goal for 2019. So pledges today, we're going to raise $75,000. Uhuru, we can do this, Uhuru! So we're going to introduce our giving levels, and the first level is Chairman Omali Shatella, which is $25,000 or more. And the chairman say, revolutionaries are optimistic. We can actually envision a new world. It is we who will not allow our vision for the future to be determined by what is real today. Uhuru.
And we have the Patrice Lumumba level, which is $10,000 to $24,999. And we say, united by a single spirit, a single aspiration, and a single heart, we shall turn Africa into a genuinely free and independent continent in the immediate future. Uhuru. The next level we have is the Kwame Nkrumah level, which is $5,000 to $9,999. Freedom is not something that one people can bestow upon another as a gift. They claim it as their own, and none can keep it from them. And of course, the Harriet Tubman level, $2,000 to $4,999. My Underground Railroad, I never ran my train off the track. I never lost a passenger. The Ella Baker level, $500 to $1,999. Remember, we are not fighting for freedom of the Negro alone, but for freedom of the human spirit, a larger freedom that encompasses all mankind. We also have our Fannie Lou Hamer, which is from $366 to $499. Action, self-reliance, the vision of self and the future have been the only means by which the oppressed have seen and realized the light of their own freedom. Uhuru. And of course, everybody knows of Marcus Garvey. And this level is from $1 to $365. Day by day, we hear the cry of Africa for Africans. The cry has become a positive, determined one. It is a cry that is raised simultaneously the world over because the universal oppression that affects the Negro. All right, Uhuru.
So how you can give, basket holders are in place. You can go ahead and start passing out the pledge cards. So you can fill out your pledge card form. You can email to donate@apspuhuru.org, or you can go online at www.apsuhuru.org/donate. You can make checks payable to Uhuru or mail them to APSP / the Office of the Deputy Chair in care of Uhuru House at 4101 West Florissant Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri, 63115.
So at this time, I understand that we have some people who want to kick off the pledge drive. Do we have Nana Y'all Grant? Can you come to the mic?
Uhuru. I want to salute the 7th Congress and salute Chairman Amali Shatella, Deputy Chair, Honorable Zanae Yeshatella, Penny Hess, and Tachara, and everybody is a part of the Black Power Blueprint. And I want to continue my support that I did last year at $300 a year, at $25 a month. So, Uhuru.
Uhuru. So I want to make a donation as well. I'm also a sustaining member of the African People's Socialist Party, and I would like to donate $1,000 for 2019. So that's about $84 a month. So I don't know if anybody out there want to match me the $1,000, but come on down. We have a microphone down here that you can come and make your pledge as well.
Yes, we want people to continue to fill out your cards completely so that we are able to get in contact with you. We don't want any missing information. If you are online, please go to donate@apspuhuru.org. That is donate@apspuhu.org. And I think we have some more people that want to make a pledge. What about, you going to make a pledge, Comrade Bakri Olatunji?
Yes, I heard the chairman say something earlier about what his uncle said to him about what conversation is, and I think it's important for people to say what they're going to do, but it's even more important for people to do what they say they're going to do. So I want to do something half of what Deputy Chair said. You said you was going to donate how much? $1,000. $1,000. So I'm going to do $500 for 2019 to be my pledge.
Uhuru.
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 Uhuru, Uhuru. I think it is fundamentally important for African people to do whatever we can to make this revolution happen, to contribute to our own movement. And I want to donate $1,200 for 2019. Uhuru.
Uhuru. So I just want to recognize that we are materialists. And, we believe that it is not just the ideas in white people's heads that we are struggling against, that we are struggling against the capture of all of our resources and of our labor itself. And I unite with what the chairman has put forward, that African people have to participate in our own liberation, and we have to do so in the most concrete manner. And so I want to give a pledge as well for the year, along with Brandy Arrington, $500. So I'll match Bakri Olatunji. So again, if anybody wants to make a pledge, please make your way to the microphone, which is here. If you are online, again, you can go to donate@apspuhuru.org to make a donation.
Uhuru, I pledge $1,000 for 2019.
All right, can you tell us your name and why you made a pledge?
Kabula Mutombo. I just waste the money anyway. It got to go to a cause to change this world. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Akila Anai, and I'm pledging $1,000 for the year 2019, and because we got a Vanguard up, and we have to fund this revolution. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. My name is Penny Hess, and I am pledging $2,000 for 2019. Uhuru, reparations. And, I want to be clear that the wealth of the world, the stolen wealth from African people, from indigenous people, and oppressed and colonized peoples is in the white community. This is what we call social wealth. We have inherited the wealth that was stolen through violence, through terror, through genocide, through enslavement. And we have the responsibility to pay reparations as a way of rectifying our stand to African people and the people on the planet Earth. I am pledging $2,000 for this year, and part of that will be, as was said, through a monthly contribution to the African People's Socialist Party. And I'm calling on other white people to come forward and take this stand.
Uhuru.
And we have some people to thank.
All right.
We have some people to acknowledge here. Comrade Janice Cant, African People's Solidarity Committee is giving, it says $1,800 and $5,000, if I'm correct. So that is $6,800.
Right.
Uhuru! We can do this. We have to raise $75,000 today. We can do this. This is wealth that's just laying around in the white community.
It is.
Stolen.
And it looks like we have another donation. All right.
I'm Sue Just. I want to pledge $500, 2019. Starting 500, 2019.
Uhuru, Sue Just.
And I have some more pledges have come in. We have Israel and Madge Ambrosa for a 2019 pledge of $600.
Woo! Uhuru! We have Amanda Kerlazzi, a pledge of $60 and $140.
All right,
Uhuru! Ann Hirsch, $100. Uhuru!
We have James Bryant, who wants to pledge today, $25.
Uhuru!
James.
Uhuru!
So we want people to understand some of the projects that what you donate will go directly to. You saw the demolition of the 2 buildings and the renovation of the Uhuru House. Right now, we have to complete the One Africa, One Nation marketplace, where we've destroyed these 2 buildings that we could not save. We need to put up a fence, pave part of the lot, and we also have a community garden, which will be named the Gary Brooks Black Power Community Garden, after one of the neighbors who was instrumental in assisting the movement and Deputy Chair Onizene Shatella on the ground. So these are the concrete projects that we need to raise money for. We also want to recognize Holly Murray, who is pledging $30 today. Holly Murray, thank you. Uhuru.
Uhuru! Uhuru! I think there are there people ready to make a pledge?
Uhuru, this is 4 feet, and I pledge $250 for the year of 2019.
All right.
Uhuru, this is Usainu Mbenga. I was born in the so-called smallest country in Africa, Gambia. I just wanted to make one statement. Gambia has always been my guy. They once asked him, why are you always championing Africa and you live in Jamaica? He said, why should I claim small Jamaica over big Africa? So I'm pledging $365 for 2019 and $20 today.
All right.
Uhuru.
My name is Sid Lalmina, and today I'm pledging $40 and $300 for the year 2019. In the name of all those people, all of our people that are locked up in those concentration camps. Tierra y Libertad.
Uhuru. Uhuru. We want to recognize Union del Barrio and the fact that this land belongs to the indigenous people.
Yes.
The U.S. government, the United States, has over half of the world's prison population right here on this soil. And they have more people, I understand, in prison, African and indigenous and Mexican people in prison, than the whole of China, which is 1 billion+ people. So we have to wage this struggle, and we need every contribution we can make. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Casey, and I'm a proud member of the African People's Solidarity Committee, and I'm going to pledge $600 for the year of 2019 and an additional $20 today. And that's probably what I used to spend, if not more, on partying and substances because I was so horrified by the violence in the world. I wanted to escape. And now that I have, the African People's Socialist Party saved my life, I don't know where I would be if I weren't here right now to see real change that can be made, and recognizing that, a lot of white people are really lost right now and don't know what to do, but we should make our life about reparations to African people because everything we have came from them. I don't want a life covered in blood. I don't want to live on the stolen resources. So I am taking the stand of reparations, and I want every single white person to do that as well. Uhuru.
All right,
Uhuru, KC.
And we want to remind quickly, if you are online, you can go to donate at apspuhuru.org to donate. And
Uhuru, I'm Nanayal, and I'm back again. And I'm going to accept the deputy chair's challenge to $1,000. And so I want to up my yearly contributions to the Black Power, for $1,000 for $83 a month. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Janet Capron, reparations. I want to continue to pledge $100 a month for 2019 and $20 in cash today.
Uhuru.
Right, Uhuru.
Uhuru, Janet.
Uhuru. My name is Redbeard. And I want to appreciate the chairman and the party for the opportunity to participate and to have a vision of the future. I also want to give a shout out to Heba Sheshe, who invited me into the work back in the day, and I'll always be grateful to her for that. And I was reading a publication on the plane on the way out here, which is known colloquially as the Blue Book, but officially as the Report from the Mountain. And in it, the chairman invites any honest person who wants to participate in the independence struggle as a strategic commitment, a long-term strategic commitment, a protracted struggle, in other words. And I just want to again reiterate my appreciation for that opportunity. I currently pledge $125 a month to APDEP. I'm going to up that to $150 a month. I currently pledge $150 a month to APEDF. Really want to appreciate all the work I've done with the deputy chair. It's been amazing. And I'll up that to $200. And then I've got a check in here just for today for $500. Uhuru.
Uhuru, David Reardon. Uhuru, stand of reparations.
We want to just remind people quickly, we did not say actually that you can, once you fill out your pledge card, you can go to the back and see Brandy and Tiffany, raise your hands in the back, and hand them your pledge cards, and make sure you complete them completely. All right, we got more pledges. Oh, also, good news, we have a sum total in so far,
$525.
$525.
We have more now.
And counting.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Jeffrey Alexander, otherwise known as Abdullah. My wife and I, Malika, would like to pledge $300 for the year of 2019.
All right.
Uhuru. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Kitty from African People's Solidarity Committee. I want to continue my pledge of $1,500 for 2019. And do a special for the Congress today, $200. And I just want to say, I have a daughter that's 33 years old. She was 10 when Jose Luis Avila was captured in San Francisco and put in prison in the shoe. That's Kessa's son. And you know what I mean? And then Penny was reminding me of the wall in the Her House in St. Pete, where the party put photos of people, you know, who have been in the party, in the movement, who have passed away, certainly in my lifetime. And that's intolerable. It has to really be intolerable, and it is, for white people, that our children can have a future and the colonized children cannot, at the expense of colonized children. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru. Kitty Riley.
Kitty Riley, Uhuru, ORED director.
We also have a donation from Karen McGregor. She pledges $365 for 2019. Thank you, Karen. Uhuru.
$1 a day.
Uhuru, my name is Maureen Wagner, and I am honored to be a member of the African People's Solidarity Committee. I thank the chairman for creating a way for white people to be a part of the future. And I'm going to continue my Amalia Shatella pledge for 2019 of $25,000. And I think ORED Director Kitty mentioned that, you know, some of us in the white community have jobs that pay ridiculous amounts of money, and it comes at the expense of the coltan that comes from the same place that Luezi Conchasa comes from, and it comes from the coffee that also comes from Africa, because almost every software developer in Silicon Valley lives off of free coffee every day, and if they lose their job, they could be a barista. It comes off of the diamonds and all the other resources that go into the technology that make people like Larry Ellison and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, but also like Maureen Wagner. And I'm also going to give today $5,000 in honor of the Congress. Uhuru.
Uhuru! Unity through reparations. Uhuru!
Uhuru, my name is Gregory, and I'm born and raised here in St. Louis. And today I'm giving 40 to the Black Power Blueprint in honor of the Congress, and 180 over the course of 2019, because inspired by the theory of Chairman Amalia Shatella and the work of Deputy Chair Ona Zanea Shatella, I'm witnessing like positive change in St. Louis, which can be a really depressing place to live, even if you're in the white community like me, because the disparity is so stark, the police violence is so real, and our community exists at the expense of the black community in St. Louis, and I'm sick of it. So I'm happy to join in this project and support it with money.
Uhuru Gregory! Uhuru!
I just want to say, you know, to pick up on what Gregory said, there's this notion called, referred to as the Delmore Divide here in St. Louis, and apparently known nationally. This Delmore is a street where on one side of Delmore you see huge high-rise buildings, Starbucks, all kinds of wealth and prosperity, and it's evident as soon as you cross over Delmore. On the other side of Delmore, you have this apparent visible poverty that you see. African people struggling with all of the contradictions of colonialism. And this institution right now sits on a street called Page. That is the main street out here. And, you know, now people are saying that Page is the new Delmore Divide. So we are sitting on this fault line, so to speak, right now. So the contributions that you make and toward the African People's Socialist Party and the Black Power Blueprint are helping us fight to push this line back the other way so African people can have a future.
Uhuru!
Uhuru.
Uhuru. We have
My
the
name is Israel.
opportunity to be part of that future. Go ahead. Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Israel. I just wanted to say I'm new to the movement, but I've been dreaming about it my whole life. And they already said, but my wife and I are going to give it $600 over the year in 2019 and $50 today.
All right, Uhuru.
Okay.
So we want to give a quick announcement. We have a new total. It has changed substantially since the last one, but we still have a ways to go. At this moment, we have raised a total of $53,285. Uhuru!
We're almost there. We can do this.
Uhuru, my pledge was the same as Israel's. We own a small business together, and I'm a member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and I joined and I raised reparations, and I organized other white people to raise reparations because I want to see the genuine liberation of all oppressed people, and the African working class must lead. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, Mads. Uhuru.
Uhuru. My name's Marissa, and I came from Seattle, and I joined the Uhuru Solidarity Movement because I was looking for a movement that would take the demand of reparations to the white community. So, you know, in this time frame of the crisis of imperialism, it's deepening. We watch it every day, and I'm excited about more white people joining this movement because there is no future. So I am pledging $1,200 to match Chairman Amalia Shatella, and I'm paying it today. And I'm like, I want this to be accelerated. I want this to be amplified. This is the Vanguard Party of the African working class, and we can get behind that. Uhuru.
Right, Uhuru. To the Vanguard Party of the African working class.
We have some people that we want to acknowledge. Paula Rubin, $120. Uhuru. Uhuru Solidarity Movement. Gaida Cambone, $200. Uhuru. Ushindi Watu, $50. Uhuru. And Sam Day, $50.
All right, Uhuru. If you are still filling out pledge cards, remember to fill them out completely, take them to the back, and we'll tally everything up. If you are watching online, we want you to pledge as well. You can go to donate at apspuhuru.org.
Uhuru. I want to salute our chairman, Amalia Shatella. Uhuru, who I first met shortly before the 5th Congress in 2010. And it's an honor to be here with you today, as it was then. And Deputy Chair Onizanea Shatella. Uhuru to the Deputy Chair. There you are. And to Secretary General Luwezi Kinshasa. Uhuru. To S.G. Ghazi, Director Akile, to all of the leaders of the African People's Socialist Party. And I today want to match Deputy Chair and do 1,000 for 2019. I am sorry to the people who are counting the card, because that's not what I wrote. I increased it after listening to people's statements. But I just want to thank the chairman and the African People's Socialist Party, because if I had not met this movement, if I had not joined the African People's Solidarity Committee, I would not be able to stand before you or any group of people and say, honestly, that I am a communist, that I am an anti-imperialist, that I am a revolutionary. The only reason I can say any of those things without being a fraud like Bernie Sanders or any other moldy white leftist you will find anywhere else is because I work under the leadership of the true working class of the world, the African working class, the true proletariat of the planet Earth. And we can look back in history and see pictures of Che and Huey Newton and these images of the past, but we stand in a room today with Chairman Amalia Shatella, with Deputy Chair, with Chairwoman Penny Hess, my leadership in the African People's Solidarity Committee, and it's an honor to be a part of this movement. And the chairman said, imperialism cannot survive a successful struggle for reparations. I want to see that struggle be a success, and I want to see imperialism die in Chairman Amalia Shatella's lifetime. Unity through
reparations!
Uhuru.
Uhuru! Comrade Jesse Neville, chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. Uhuru!
Uhuru.
We want to acknowledge Benjamin Prado, $365. Uhuru this year. Janine Griswold, $240. Uhuru!
Uhuru. My name is Jackson. I am honored to be here. I want to salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Deputy Chair Onanzane Yeshitela, the African People's Socialist Party, and the African People's Solidarity Committee, USM. It's an honor to be here and an honor to be under the leadership of the vanguard of the African Revolution. And I want to commit myself and call for all white people to commit ourselves to building a culture of reparations, to building armies of white people under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, and to do all that we can to use the to unleash our whiteness and gain, take back what Chairman Penny was saying, take back all of the stolen resources and return them to their rightful owners. So I want to commit myself to that and call on all white people to do that. And I am not able to give as much as I would like today, but will commit myself to getting everything in order so that I can return more. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru! Jackson Hollingsworth, Uhuru!
And we want to recognize David Roldy, who is pledging $150 today.
Uhuru!
And also Kara Locke for her 2019 pledge of $2,000.
Uhuru!
Uhuru, I just want to salute Chairman and the party leadership and Chairwoman Penny Hess, and to say that I'm very grateful to have found this movement so that I can be on the right side of history. So I'm doing a Marcus Garvey level, $365, $125 today, and the rest $20 a month. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru.
Uhuru! Wendy Craig, Uhuru Solidarity Movement.
Be sure to tell us your names when you come up.
Uhuru. My name is Dexter Mlawingu, and as a member of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, based right here in St. Louis, I understand that the work of the Black Power Blueprint has been integral to the work of Impedum, and because of that, and in support of the continued work of Black Power Blueprint, I pledge today for the year 2019, $500 and $20 today. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru. $500.
Uhuru, my name is Wendy Snyder, and I'm a member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. I'm just so honored. I want to salute Chairman Yeshitela and Onanzane Yeshitela. 26 years ago, I met the Uhuru movement in Oakland, California, and I'm very, very happy that I did. And I'm going to continue my $33 a month pledge, but I also want to up it to, it's I think $396 if I did the math right, but I want to up it to $500. But I just want to say that I strive to be one day, because, you know, as white people, we have access to the stolen loot. I strive to be a Yeshitela donor one day. That's my goal. Uhuru.
We have a few more names. We want to recognize Ron Godez, I believe. Gochez, who is donating $360 today for 2019. We also have Comrade Lisa Watson, who has made a pledge for 2019 of $4,008.
Uhuru. Uhuru, my name is Gazi Kodzo, and I just want to salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Deputy Chair Onanzane Yeshitela, and Secretary General Luezi Kinshasa, and just really appreciate all the work that you have done and led, and the work of the party, and just how beautiful and amazing today is, and giving us this opportunity where we can take these resources that we have and put them right in the chest of the white ruling class and to stab it down dead. You know, just seeing that amazing presentation, but seeing the Africans, you know, that were lynched there, and just the genocide and the horrors that white power has put on this planet, and to have us to have the opportunity to put our dollars and cents, right to end this forever and for it never to come back again. And I would like to pledge $420 for the year of 2019. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru.
Secretary General. Yes. Well,
All right, we have another pledge we want to announce by a longtime comrade and veteran of the African.
Uhuru and Desiree Gaitan, $50 from Unyanda Barrio.
Uhuru. And we want to give our total again. We have a goal of $75,000. We want people to continue to give. We are struggling to make this goal. $67,608 is where we are now. Let's make $75,000.
Yes.
Uhuru, my name is Sandy, and I first met the party I was working at KPFA Radio in Berkeley, and when I met the party in 1982 around the time of the first tribunal on reparations for African people in the U.S. that the party held in New York. And one of the first project that I did was to take the recordings of that testimony where African people spoke about the conditions of life and presented all the testimony for the basis for the reparations demand. And it was, I had tried to be politically active, different things. I had come to San Francisco looking for the revolution, but I hadn't found it yet. I met the party. And when I worked on that project, it completely blew my mind. I got to hear testimony from people like Mfundi Lake, who had recently passed away, who, political prisoner for decades, talk about how because of his political organizing, he was locked up and kept in solitary confinement for 12 years without a book. He told how he learned to play chess in his mind without a board. And he put 3 sheets of toilet tissue on his chest to psych himself out that he had a blanket after they threw cold water on the floor to make the cell cold. And I just never imagined. And it could just made me understand what I had to do. And the party, Chairman O'Malley, explained the whole world. Everything all the different things that I saw was messed up, I understood it all together because African internationalism explains the whole world, including our role in it as white people. So I'm just so honored and so appreciative. Did I say I'm pledging $50 a month, so $600 for 2019, and I'm just so appreciative to be in this movement. And the party is the only organization that can defeat this system, that can defeat imperialism. Uhuru.
Uhuru. We want to remind people that if you are viewing online, you can make a donation at donate at apspUHURU.org. If you are in the audience and you have not decided on the pledge or contribution you want to make, we want to remind you don't have to pay everything today. You can pay monthly. You can break it up in parts. Just decide on what you want to pledge, and you can go to the back table, and they'll take your information, or we can have somebody that just contribute $8,000, and we can go ahead and raise the $75,000 right now.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Yeah, we want to acknowledge a few more people because I know that we're over 70,000 right now. So we just want to acknowledge some comrades. Pete Yarashek, $1,000 this year. Uhuru.
We have Allison Haney, who is pledging $500 today, and for 2019 has united with pledging $3,000. And we have Gumbo Shondoko pledging $1,000 for the year 2019.
Uhuru. We have Thomas Hayes, $120. Uhuru. Xavier McGregor, $365. And Mara Ratu, $450. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Actually, I wanted to double my sustainer for next year. So rather than 25 a month, I'd like to do 50 a month. And then today, I'd like to pledge 150. And I just really want to appreciate my leadership, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, and the incredible, powerful, and significant leadership of Deputy Chair. It's just been such an honor to do all of this work for for the party and to be a part of the African People's Solidarity Committee. It's just really changed my life, and I know that this is the future that we all hope for, and we will see it. So,
Yes.
uhuru.
Uhuru.
And we have another pledge by a stalwart solidarity force representing the African People's Solidarity Committee, who has struggled through all kinds of health contradictions to continue to participate in this revolution any way she can. We want to recognize Comrade Raya Fogarty.
Uhuru. Raya Fogarty. Uhuru.
And Comrade Raya is pledging $60 today.
Uhuru. We want to recognize Haas Ubatu, who is pledging a total of $140. Uhuru Haas. And Nazarene Anderson, $300.
Uhuru, I want to salute Chairman Amalia Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Ona Yeshitela for the vision, the work, the commitment, the generations-long struggle, and keeping the burning spear burning for all these years to give white people the opportunity to make a truly progressive stance, an anti-colonial stance, and overturn our hideous legacy. I would like to increase my pledge by $1,000 because I'm so moved by your statements, and Uhuru, thank you.
So we appreciate that pledge of $1,000, and with the pledge with the total I was just given, that should put us over our amount, which would give us a total of $75,243. We got more.
Let's don't stop there. You can't stop there. Uhuru.
And we have another pledge, and you can continue to pledge. You can go online and make a pledge or a donation at donate@apsp.uhuru.org. We have Comrade Muteba, who wants to pledge for 2019, $60. All right.
Muteba. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
One more.
I have just been so moved by everybody who contributed today and by the Congress. I'm going to give another $5,000 today. Uhuru.
Another $5,000.
Uhuru. Yes.
Uhuru.
I do a lot of numbers, and I like round numbers, and 80,000 sounds really nice. Uhuru.
All right.
I can't hear it.
Anybody else like round numbers out there?
Maureen, another 5,000. I couldn't hear very well. That is so powerful. Uhuru, stand of reparations. Uhuru. Dia, $100.
All right, Uhuru.
To the amazing MC for today.
Yes, thank you, comrades. You have made a contribution to the liberation of African people, and we want to just remind people, anytime throughout this process, you can go to the back when you decide on your amount, go see Brandy and Tiffany. They'll take your pledge, your contribution. We have another one.
Kalambai Andanette, the president of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, $25 today.
All right, Uhuru, Comrade Kalambaye.
Uhuru.
All right, one Africa.
One nation.
One Africa.
One nation. Two more.
Oh, okay, I'll stay up here. We'll stay. All right, so we have Comrade Chiwaniso, who wants to pledge $365 for 2019. And James, I believe, Stransberry, who is donating $5 today. Uhuru.
So we will announce the final total. The Office of Deputy Chair will announce the final total at the end of today. Continue to go to apspuhuru.org to contribute online. All the people who are watching the live stream, and go to the back desk to be able to contribute today as well.
Uhuru. And, you know, people want to continue to make our job difficult, and we love it because Comrade Chiwaniso wants to increase her pledge to $500.
Whoa!
Uhuru.
Uhuru!
Is that it?
We'll announce again tonight at the banquet, or tonight at the end of the night. And we just really want to salute all of you who made this happen, who brought in and returned $75,000 and more to the African People's Socialist Party, to the African Revolution, the Vanguard, the Advanced Detachment.
All right, Uhuru.
Uhuru! Uhuru! Let's give another round of applause for the Office of Deputy Chair, Ona Zane Yeshitela, and everyone who helped us surpass our goal, to fund the African nation in the Black Power Blueprint. I want to bring up Deputy Chair one more time. At this moment, she's going to do the recognition of the party's veterans. So y'all give it up for DC Ona one more time. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades. So at this time, it is my great honor to represent the African People's Socialist Party in recognizing party comrades who have led the way in building this party from its earliest days, out there struggling among the masses of the African working class and building the African Revolution. So the first person that I would like to recognize is Comrade Omowale Kafin. Omowale Kafin, please, just, you can come. Ooh. Omowale Kafin's work in our party has seen in his leadership of the campaign to free Desi Woods, smash colonial violence, beginning in 1975. Comrade Kafin toured the U.S. and Africa with Chairman Omali Yeshitela, building the Uhuru movement. Comrade Kafin was one of the editors of the Burning Spear newspaper for many years and a longtime writer and advocate for the Spear. There are not enough words to salute our beloved comrade. Uhuru.
In recognizing Comrade Omowale Kafin and some of the other veterans of our movement, we are recognizing the foundation of the African People's Socialist Party. These are comrades whose shoulders that we've stood on for a very long time and who have shown us the way forward. I want to say that I worked with Comrade Omowale for many years, and we organized in some of the most dangerous places in this country, which means some of the most dangerous places in the world. We were in places in Georgia that most of the civil rights movement would not go, and had characterized often as extraordinarily deadly places. We went to Plains, Georgia. We organized the first which was the hometown of then U.S. President James Earl Carter. We organized in Hawkinsville, Georgia, where the trial of Desi Woods was going to be held, and where we had mobilized people from throughout the country to come, and where we were greeted as on the only highway leading into the city by state troopers who stopped every car coming in, and where the white people in Hawkinsville had their own private jails, where Africans who worked on the plantations there were punished at will by these individual white people. And Kafin and I organized in various places throughout this country And there used to be a time as an organizer on the ground where anybody who saw Omar Wale Kafing coming into a city knew that within a matter of days at least, Omali Yeshitela would be there. He was the advanced organizer for a long period of time. And I want to really express my deepest, most profound appreciation for this comrade. He has experienced near debilitating health issues, problems, contradictions, and because of that, has not been able to attend many of the functions that he wanted to attend. He is here today in the back, and I just want, Kafing, throw up your hand. Uhuru. Yeah. So I just wanted to acknowledge this comrade. Many years ago, when we were doing work, we were the public face, the organizational representatives in many ways for the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, the other recognized revolutionary organization of representative people in South Africa. And I'll never forget, Kafing came back from one meeting and declared, if the ANC goes to power, we're going to be in worse trouble in South Africa than we are under these white people. And of course, he was dead on. He was absolutely correct. With the neo-colonial puppet terrorist regime of the African National Congress, corrupt to the bone, responsible for killing miners and workers and greedily grabbing the leftovers from the imperialist table. I just wanted to, again, acknowledge this courageous comrade. We've gone through some very dangerous moments with each other in some very dangerous places in this country. Uhuru, Africa. Uhuru.
Okay, the next comrade that I want to come up to the stage, I want to salute Comrade Gaida Kabon. Gaida was born in Panama and first joined the party in the early 1980s when she was living in an impoverished brownstone section in Brooklyn. Gaida played a key role in building the first tribunal on reparations to African people held in Brooklyn. Gaida was the Secretary General of the African People's Socialist Party for many years and led many historical campaigns, such as the Bobby Hutton Free Clinic, the Cross City 5, and the Tampa 4 campaign. Gaida is a fierce fighter for our people and a legend within our party. And I just want to say that Gaida was my sponsor. So if y'all be talking about me, it's because of Gaida. She was my sponsor and she taught me well. Uhuru, come here.
I don't know if you've watched these Academy Award where everybody that gets something want to, they want to thank the producer, they want to thank God first, and then the producer. But this is not that kind of party.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I just want to make a brief statement. I really am honored, to receive this, this recognition. And I know we don't join this movement to get recognized. And so I'm a little nervous, but I want to make a statement. African internationalism is a theory. Let me put some glasses on so I can see. African internationalism is a theory developed by Chairman Omali Yeshitela in his quest to define and change the wretched conditions of Africa and her children scattered and colonized throughout the world. Participating in our liberation is not something we do for accolades and recognition. As colonized people, it is our duty and the reason for our existence. It is our responsibility and our right to fight the enemy of our people for our humanity, dignity, and freedom. I appreciate and thank the APSP, the African People's Socialist Party, for this recognition. I thank Comandante Yeshitela for his great love for our people, his tireless and passionate commitment to the liberation and suffering of Mother Africa and her children. And most importantly, I appreciate to the members, I'm sorry. And most importantly, I thank Chairman Omali for this theory of African internationalism, a monumental and profound contribution to our struggle for national liberation and self-determination, that one day in the near future will be recognized as a great breakthrough in our historic struggle. I salute Chairman Omali Yeshitela. I thank the theory of African internationalism for defining who I am, and using me as one of its disciples to spread the word, win and recognize and organize African people to a collective and historical mission. In addition, I appreciate and thank leadership and comrades in the African People's Solidarity Committee for their steadfast commitment to the liberation of African people. And most importantly, I thank and give a special appreciation to the members of the Central Committee of the African People's Socialist Party for their commitment to ensuring that the entire Uhuru movement fulfill its responsibility to achieve our mission. I salute you. Long live the African People's Socialist Party. Long live the African People's Socialist Party. Long live Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Long live Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Ease Weletu. Ease Weletu. E Africa. Hasta la victoria siempre. Adelante. Siempre.
I want to acknowledge the significance of Comrade Gaida Kambon, and also to express my appreciation to the African People's Socialist Party for this incredible product of leadership. And Comrade Gaida Kambon has part of a history and tradition of the African People's Socialist Party that never recognized any assumption that African women would not, should not, and could not lead. Yes. Also, I think it's important for our party to recognize that we can talk about veterans like Comrade Gaida and like Comrade Omowale, because they are veterans and they have left all of you comrades here a real legacy. I mean, what we are, in part, is what has been defined by the struggles of comrades like Gaida and comrades like Omowale K. That is part of what has gone into the DNA of what is the African People's Socialist Party. And they were serious struggles. These are not people who we are saluting because of great papers that they wrote. These are people who were in the trenches in a very serious way. And I remember when we had to make a decision about whether I should go to a particular West African country. And I was hesitant about making that trip for a number of reasons. And it was Comrade Gaida who really pushed and pushed and pushed in a very annoying way that I had to make that trip. And of course, it was extremely important that that trip was made. We built organization there. We continue to do some kind of work there. I just want to unite with everybody in saluting Comrade Gaida Cambone for the magnificent contributions she has made to our struggle. And not the least of those contributions was participating in developing and constructing the African People's Socialist Party that is hosting its 7th Congress today, right here in St. Louis. Uhuru.
So next, I want to bring up Chimaranga Salambayo. So Chimaranga, who joined JOMO, the organization created by Chairman Amalia Shatella before the African People's Socialist Party, when he was 17 years old. Chimaranga has unselfishly devoted himself to the party and has always taken up whatever assignment he has been given throughout his many years in the party, including president of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. He ran for city council in St. Petersburg, Florida, and for the school board in Pinellas County, Florida, and fought for the Marcus Garvey Academy. Chimaranga is another beloved and respected comrade. Uhuru Chimaranga. Uhuru.
Yeah, I really, these comrades coming forth put me in this crazy position of telling war stories. And I'd want to express appreciation for Comrade Chimaranga, as it has been mentioned. At any of the junctures of our party, when there were difficulties, problems, and that had to be solved, and things that had to be held together, Chimaranga was the person who we always were able to go to. When NPDUM was in space in some of its most difficult periods, Chimaranga was the person who stepped in and held it together. And he has just been a very important force. As it was said, he came into our movement at 17 years old. And Chimaranga played football in high school, and he was a quarterback. And quarterbacks don't like physical contact, for anybody who doesn't know. And I mention this because on one occasion, I was rather reckless as a younger person, and we had this confrontation with the police. And the police had done some dastardly insulting act, and they were driving cars that took up the entire street. And when they were driving, they passed some members of the Uhuru movement, JOMO, and they purposely splashed water on them. And that infuriated me. And I began to run behind them. And they saw me running behind them, and they just simply casually cruised until I passed them, and then turned into the gate of the Freedom House. When I turned into the gate of the Freedom House, they must have thought something was up, because at that time, they began to burn rubber, getting the hell out of there. And Comrade Chimaranga was standing when I ran through the gate, and like a typical quarterback, he simply sort of stepped back and stuck his hand and leg out like this without making the tackle. Yeah, he has been there, and under very difficult times. I think it may have been Comrade Chimaranga and Omar Wali who made that special trip to retrieve our resources out of, were you with them in Louisville, Kentucky? I did. Yeah, in Louisville, Kentucky. And I just want to acknowledge this comrade. By the way, Chimaranga was born of the same mother as I. but he's been here all along. And I really want to salute this comrade. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Yeah. I really want to thank the chairman for those words. I wish he hadn't told I missed a tackle, but it also betrays my age, I guess. When you tell war stories, you know, you talk about old people. So I really want to, this is a beautiful plaque, and I really want to thank the chairman, the NCC, the entire African People's Socialist Party for recognizing me. Uhuru.
In early 1970, we began the process of building the African People's Socialist Party. And unlike now, when we have the luxury of having a Congress, temporarily anyway, publicly like this, at that time, our revolutionary movement was still experiencing the terror that had been brought by the 60s, where in public meetings, FBI and other organs of the state would even sometimes raid them with guns drawn, with children there, and the rest of it, destroying our properties, destroying our political materials, and the rest of that. That fact, and also the inexperience of the African working class in doing something like holding a Congress meant that when we founded the Congress in 1972, it was a consequence of organizations that were working together primarily in Florida, and Jomo, who also was based in Kentucky. And of the organizations, there was Jomo that I just mentioned. There was the Gainesville Black Study Group that was headed by a courageous young African woman whose name was Keturah Carey. And there was the Black Rights Fighters out of Fort Myers, led by a most humble and unassuming revolutionary force that I am very happy to acknowledge, who was martyred. But a member of that organization, this tall, lanky, sort of relatively unassuming person, was Vincent Lawrence. And I want to call forward Vincent Lawrence, who has been a stalwart force. And I just want to say that, well, I can't overstate the significance of this. The Black Rights Fighters was extremely impressive organization to me, and partially because of its leadership. Because even during the 60s and early part of the 70s, there were hustlers that abounded then as well, and people whose involvement in the movement was sort of as careers. You know, we had careerists who had careers in being in the movement. But the Black Rights Fighters was not like that. And one of the things that I really appreciated was the work that they did with migrant workers. And they were led by this man, Lawrence Mann, whom I loved so much. And even today, I can express my love for him. And Vincent Lawrence was there with him in a very serious way. And I just wanted to pass this on to Comrade Vincent Lawrence and express our appreciation for his presence here and the work that he helped to do in 1972 when we pulled together the African People's Socialist Party through the merger of the Black Rights Fighters, the Gainesville Black Study Group, and the Hunter of Militant Organizations, JOMO.
And I'd like to thank the chairman and the African People's Socialist Party for having me here. And one thing I remember with the chairman did, I don't know if he remembered it doing, it was after Lawrence Mann was martyred. He gave me a book. I don't know if you remember it. He gave me a book called In His Mind, A Million Warriors. It was a book on Chairman Mao's campaign in China during the revolution. But he gave it to me, and I read it. On the way here, I read it all over again. And I really didn't have to read it with the towel because it said everything. And from In His Mind, A Million Warriors, this is where we are today.
In his mind, a million bold warriors. And I've been looking for that book. I'm glad you still have it. I want to copy that. Yeah, it's splendid. Uhuru. So, thank you for all you incredible comrades. And this is the foundation, part of the foundation upon which our party stands. And there are so many other comrades, some of whom you won't ever have an opportunity to meet, but they from the African working class, essentially, and they represent the fabric of what is now the African People's Socialist Party. And it's important to say that the needs and aspirations of the African working class lives on, and that it is now in the possession of the advanced detachment of that working class, the African People's Socialist Party. Uhuru. Yes.
Uhuru. Vanguard, Vanguard, we must lead. Vanguard, Vanguard, we must lead. Y'all falling asleep out there? All right now. Next coming to the stage, I would like to bring up Comrade Haas Ubatu, who is a member of the Office of Secretary General Gazi Kozo. Y'all give it up for Comrade Haas. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades. Uhuru, comrades and guests. Uhuru. So I am with the Office of Secretary General. I am the Secretary of Economic Development and the Office of Secretary General. I'll take a few little seconds to, tell you why I joined the movement. Well, for starters, for one, growing up, I always got told no a lot. Always told no, 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 and still to this day, I still have a real reluctance to the word no, because people tell me things are not, can't be achieved and this, that, and other. But I come to this party, I keep saying, I hear yes, like it can be done, and this, that, and other, these affirmations and whatnot, And, you hear from the white women class, like, no, Africans shouldn't have freedom, no, Africans shouldn't have shelter, and so on and so forth. But here in this party, that is, yes, we can, and we have what it takes. We have the capacity to do so. We have the revolutionary capacity to do so. So, yeah. So, Secretary General, I'm not good at public speaking. I'm about to, panic. But anyway, Secretary General would like to show a video to the audience, right? Yeah. And the video, so I don't know if that's ready yet. Here we go, right here. Can we, turn this light off right here? And that one too? Yeah, thank you. There we go, bam. Go. Oh yeah, and also it's gonna be sellouts in this video, so we're gonna say boo. Well, I'm gonna say boo, and y'all gonna say boo too, so let's go.
It's an African one. Yeah. Beats by Amateur. Yeah, me I like it. Something so. This umekuja kutake chance, hakuna matata kama umekuja kulipa kupiga densi hapo ulipo kata kiwa London USA, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago, nowhere be like Africa, nowhere be like home. Eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? Eruya wayo, wayaka, karibu kiti, utapewa nini? It's an African one. Give me a latte. Soldier come, soldier go. Your home now, your home. Irreplaceable. Anywhere you go. London, USA. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go. New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home. Biko eruya wayo. Wayaka. Karibu kiti. Utapewa nini? Eruya wayo. Wayaka. Karibu kiti. Utapewa nini? Lele. Africa, Africa, yeah, yeah. Sweet life, I know. Baby.
Hey everybody, ahoo! Ooh, I like to do it again. We're gonna start over here, all right? Ahoo! Oh, I like that. Y'all like that? Y'all having fun? Y'all getting revolutionary? Stand up for Mama Africa, y'all. Everybody get on your feet for Mama Africa. And give her a round of applause for the best child Mother Africa's given birth to, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Oh! Now stay on your feet. Would you do anything for Africa? Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Would you do anything for African people? Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Would you do anything for Chairman Omali Yeshitela? Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Would you do anything for Deputy Chair Owner Zanae Yeshitela? Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we asking you one thing. Come on close, y'all. Get up, let's come on close. Come to the stage, y'all. Come sit as close as possible. Show me if you love Mama Africa. See how close you come in. I want everybody come together. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. All right, now in the seats, y'all, in the seats. In the seats, in the seats, in the seats, yes, in the seats. But come close. All right, everybody so far back. That's good. That's good. Ease Wele too.
E-Africa.
E-Africa.
East Wele too.
One Africa.
One nation.
One nation.
One Africa.
Uhuru. All right, now that y'all are close, now y'all can sit on down. Sit on down. Doesn't that feel good, y'all? I think we just destroyed some, colonial invisible borders. Coming all close together like that. All right, y'all. So, what a powerful and amazing day. Can we have a round of applause? Wow. The most important event since the UNIA Convention for African People Worldwide. Can we have a round of applause for Chairman Omali Yeshitela who put this whole thing together? Can we have a round of applause for Deputy Chair Zanae Yeshitela that made sure we had the funds to get this whole thing together? Yes. A round of applause for President Columbai, who's over the logistics. A round of applause for Comrade Nanaya, Kobina, and Christine over outreach. And Comrade Timber over outreach. Round of applause for Akile Nai, Director of Agitation Propaganda, and her amazing AV team, audio and visual. Vanguard up. And a round of applause for Comrade Chimarenga and this amazing security team, keeping us safe. Keeping us safe. They so militant and strong, y'all. They so strong looking, all right? I like that, I like that. All right, round of applause for Chairwoman Penny Hess and the Solidarity Committee. Round of applause for Secretary General Luwezi Uhuru over the program. Comrade Aisha Fields is over the banquet. Round of applause. Comrade Yejide Onmila over registration. Okay, I think I got everybody. If I didn't get everybody, please don't fight me later, okay? I do carry. All right, but a round of applause for everybody, all the teams, the committees, all the volunteers that made this amazing historic day one of the most important days for African oppressed people around the world. Uhuru! Uhuru! All right, y'all, so let's take some time to learn about this party, the African People's Socialist Party that made today possible. Do we have the PowerPoint ready? Uhuru. So is it dark enough? Perfect. Let's go back, let's go back. All right, so we're about to build the African nation, and that is the call that Chairman is making for us to build the African nation. Uhuru, next slide. So Chairman's quote around joining and the importance of being a part of this amazing and historic party. We have a responsibility, brothers and sisters, to step forward. Some of us have been seduced. We're making plans for our individual futures and what our degrees are going to do for us and our position in the corporations that we're going to work for. You can do that if you want to, brothers and sisters, but what I do is put my faith on the liberation of Africa and African people. If I want any damn thing to do with it, if I have any damn thing to do with it, and it comes to your getting a job in one of these imperialist corporations, you'll be unemployed. All right, Chairman, all right, Chairman. Our responsibility is to bring them down, bring them down.
Bring them down.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
All right, next slide. Uhuru.
Uhuru. So I'm taking off this part. So right here, how many people in here got a doctor? Who has a doctor, like a doctor? Who goes to a doctor? What about that? Who goes to a doctor? Okay. All right, so one thing I didn't understand, I guess before, I wasn't very partisan before I joined the party, but one thing, I understood political parties. And the thing is, like a political party, you know, they administer like their own, the material interests of the ruling class, you know, the Republican Democratic Party, right? So we understand that. But here, you know, we have a party that does the same, you know, the party is like a doctor. It administers like the, material interests. And African internationalism is that medicine, you know what I'm saying? So that African internationalism being the medicine for the African poor and working class. So that being said, this is the Vanguard Party that does that. And the side effects are power, prosperity, and a future for African people.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Haas.
So this is the part right here, this is where, the party won me as an African who didn't have no kind of place or real, I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I just tried to find, my people who were seeing what I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting subjective now. But anyway, for the most part, that's what this Vanguard Party is. It is the African poor working class's doctor. And African internationalism is the medicine for all that atrophy and pain in our communities, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere around this world. So we got to understand, we got to unite with that, you know what I'm saying? So, Uhuru.
Uhuru! Round of applause for that.
Next slide.
Slide.
Party that builds.
Oh. A party that builds. Uhuru! Let's give another round of applause to Deputy Chair Onezene Shatella, Black Power Blueprint. And we are a party that builds. As you can see, these are the multiple Uhuru houses and Uhuru furniture stores. We have over here St. Petersburg, Florida. Round of applause if you're from St. Pete, Florida. Headquarters. We got Oakland, West Coast. Let me hear some noise. All right. We got the Uhuru Furniture Store in Philly. Let me hear some noise, Philly.
Oh.
Yes, down in Philly, they get silly. All right, now this one gonna be the loud one, Lord. Here we go. I don't know.
Oh, go back?
Go back.
I got it.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
The Uhuru House in St. Louis. Yes, y'all, we build. Just like Chairman said, you know, talk is cheap, conversation is cheap. Building, that's where it's at, right? Putting hope and faith right there, smack dab, in the most deprived sectors of the African community. Building the Uhuru houses, building institutions of anti-colonial economic development. That is what the party is about. Because you cannot be an African internationalist just by believing and uniting with what the chairman has been putting out. You have to act. You have to be a part of that change. The people are demanding of that. Our children are demanding of that. All the bombs that they drop on us, the drones, the police that they push in our communities, that peril, that nightmare that they push into our lives every day demands for us to get from, you know, saying all the smart things we want to say online and at the barbershop and feel good about ourselves, but to take us into the Revolutionary Party, to work in it or work in an organization about it or that's being led by it, or to volunteer, because this has to end. It's beyond conversation, and now it's down to a solid reality of building a future. Hooroo!
Uhuru!
Hooroo!
Uhuru!
Next slide.
All right, a party that unites. So one thing we see here in St. Louis, we're seeing how the party is uniting the African poor working class here. So, you know, you see, you know, comrades, and I don't recognize a lot of faces here, but I guess I was prepared for this. What is it? Say again? Paris? Oh, this is in Paris, France. So, you know, here, that being said, you know, we have we're present. The party's present not just here in the U.S. alone. We're in the Caribbean, Paris, where else? South America, Sweden, all those places. Azania, Occupy Azania, and
Kenya.
you know, other places. Kenya, Kenya, and what have you. But you know, you see how African internationalism is uniting Africans everywhere. We're not saying we're hyphenated Africans. We're not stuck on that whole, you know, the whole, you know, question of what place you is, you know, what, you know, this whole like cultural nationalist, or, you know, we're native to the, you know, this land, you know, this whole erasure of like the indigenous people who actually were here first before we were brought here on slave ships, whatever the case may be. But, you know, this here, you know, the party is uniting African people, and it's not, you know, that whole, our connection is not so obscure and, you know, like in the, you know, in the air, like what's going on. It's concrete and it's understandable, like, you know, historically how we are people and how we got here, you understand? Because the white ruling class, you know, every day they don't teach us about ourselves or, you know, how we got here. You know, it's just our past is just a mystery for the most part in the classrooms that we, you know, have to go to these colonial institutions and so on and so forth. So that being said, you know, this party is going to do away with that, you know, extinguish that whole obscurity and this whole mystery of like African people and, you know, where our place is, you know, now and into the future.
Uhuru. Can I say something about the party unites? And I think it's important that I say something about this because, you know, I'm an obvious homosexual. And as you know, the division that white power has caused, the isolation that white power has caused in the African nation around African homosexuals, African transsexuals, African women, and the division that, you know, happens in there. And, you know, when we speak about, you know, uniting, it's not just in this thing of we will unite when we are free. If you want to see a united Africa, come to the African People's Socialist Party. If you want to see what liberated Africa is going to look like, come to one of our meetings. If you want to see what a liberated Africa is going to look like, volunteer and be around. And what you're going to see is African men and African women getting along because Chairman taught us how to respect and be under the leadership of African women because Chairman taught us how how to respect and love each other, because Chairman taught us how to. You're going to see the leadership of young people, old people, middle-aged people, gay people, straight people, trans people, tall, short, whatever, all kinds of African people, because Chairman Omali Yeshitela taught us how to. You've got to come to this party to see that. You ain't going to see it nowhere else but here, but right here. And this is what we are able to do when we come together. This is what we are able to do when we come together under the leadership of the African working class, because the African working class has no interest in oppressing nobody but the oppressor, the oppressor, the oppressor. This is the future right here, like it or not. Uru! 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 And we fight, y'all. This is a party that fights, that fights, that fights, and we ain't scared to fight. We've been fighting since day one. Can we get a round of applause for the fight of the mural that sparked it off? And we're going to talk more about this mural, because when Chairman tore down that mural, he started a fire that ran through this country and ran around the world and started something that we know now as the Black Power movement. We're going to talk about that. We're going to give respect to that. We're going to tell the story how it needs to be told, because they rip that story, they change it, they try to isolate you, because they're trying to isolate you from our real leadership. Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party. Hooroo! 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 And that's why today, if you go to St. Petersburg, Florida, and you go to City Hall, you will look at that space where that mural once hung, and it is empty. It is huge, it's from here to there on this wall, and it is empty, and white power knows better than to hang anything back up there again, because they know what we know. It's like Chairman said, we'll tear it down again, we'll keep tearing stuff down. Hooroo! Hooroo! Hooroo!
Uhuru. Uhuru, part of that wins. So you see, obviously here, all of these institutions, materialized outside, from this party. You got ANWO, you have the Black Power Blueprint, Impedum, Uhuru Solidarity Movement, Black Power 96, African National Women's Organization, All African People's Development and Empowerment Project, and APDEP, African People's Education and Defense Fund. All of these institutions help consolidate, everything that we need to do to unite Africa and African people. And yeah, so that being said, these, part of that wins, like the reparation struggle, that being said, winning white people, that's one of the main things that I was very adamant on, reparations, but how it was done. I even had white friends sometimes like, I'll pay you reparations, Kevin, or whatever, my colonial name or whatever, but I was like, no, I don't want charity. I want, something that builds, something that goes in the long term. I'm not trying to run a sprint. I'm trying to run a marathon.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to do that.
Come on.
But this being said, I saw, we got white people over here paying reparations. Oh, shit. What the fuck? How you do that? And this party has done that. You know what I mean? It shows how, these institutions being, raised every day, and all the achievements and accomplishments, all of that is being done by this party. And that being said, you got our media, that right there being, that's everything up here is a weapon. And that's how I see all of this. If we call ourselves militant revolutionaries, all of these things are a weapon, all of these. And the media being one, it combats this whole this white ruling class narrative being one of them, about what's going on in our communities. And then also you have the Black Power Blueprint. That right there is like a deterrent to gentrification in our communities. So, white people, moving in, trying to, seize all this real estate for, this cheap real estate for, anything for themselves, and just capitalize off all those deficits in the African community. All of these things are a weapon, all of this. So that being said, I don't know if, SG Ghazi wants to say more. No?
You got it. You did real good. Round of applause for that. Yes. Hooroo. Uhuru, workers of the world unite under the banner of African internationalism. Uhuru! 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 So I wanted to call on two members of the African People's Socialist Party that, followed this quote all the way through and that have joined the party. I want to call out Comrade Musa, Uhuru, to the stage, and Comrade Chiwaniso. Uhuru.
Yes. Lights.
Uhuru. Just to explain a little bit about myself and my colonial past life, I've been with the movement for about a month now. In my entire existence, I always felt like it was a party or something out here to where I could develop my own, or not even my own, our own as a people, knowing that we are disenfranchised, learning your history from a white male or white woman who don't even have your best interests at heart, who go home and drive 40 miles away in a high-rise or some suburb outside of Chicagoland, and, you know, seeing other oppressed people, because my neighborhood wasn't just African, it was African, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Chicano, and to understand that this struggle, it's deeper than somebody not liking me, it's deeper than some race thing that's pushed down my throat. And to know that I have a part in my liberation, it's empowering, knowing that ain't nobody gonna set you free but you. So the difference is between the ideas that white supremacy pushed on me, they push anarchism and just Marxist Lenin ideas. I heard them before, but I had no idea how they related to me and my struggle. So to have this organization, this united front, it's no words, it's priceless. So I just want to give a shout out to the leadership for taking me in. And also DC, Office of the Deputy Chair, you know, being in this St. Louis region so close to the Chi, my home, I plan to, you know, put some work in, so uhuru.
Uhuru. My name is Chiwaniso, and I joined the party going on 2 years ago now. And the main reason I joined the party is because I wasn't new to organization when I came to this movement. But what I was new to is the ideas and to just the organization of the party altogether, like the way that they do things. And there's an African proverb that says that you can't beat a drum with one finger. And the main reason I joined the party is because I didn't want to be one finger. I wanted to be a fist. And when I came to the plenary, that was the first time that I seen an organization that represented everything that I wanted to be, as far as a revolutionary, as far as an African, and just the ideas and the concepts that completely blew my mind. And I'm just so grateful to the party for giving me the theory of African internationalism and a way to be able to explain the world, and not just to all of the masses, to my child, to everybody that I meet. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru! Uhuru!
Uhuru!
Uhuru. So I just want to really appreciate Comrade Chiwaniso and Comrade Musa for their stories of, you know, why they joined the movement and what the movement has done for them, what being in the African People's Socialist Party, you know, has done for them. And, you know, Chairman, you know, has a saying how he says that, you know, pain brings, you know, African people into political life. You know, the pain of gentrification, the pain of seeing African people going through genocide, the pain of seeing your mama crying, you know, that pain, and to, you know, try to figure out how to stop that pain is what leads Africans, you know, to the African People's Socialist Party. And, you know, I'm no different than that, you know, that my pain brought me here, you know, too. That the pain being under colonialism, under oppression, brought me here too. And, you know, when I was 18 in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, going out and partying and stuff like that and going to the clubs, and if you know anything about going out in Atlanta, especially, you know, gender and sexually nonconforming African club, you know, homo club, you know, afterwards, you know, there's always fighting, you know, there's always fighting. So there was one time after the club, there was some fighting, and, you know, I was in it. And, you know, we were going at it. And of course, you know, here comes the police, and they, you know, arrest us. And this one pig, you know, got me, you know, I was running, I ran. And he got me, and when he got me, my phone fell, and I cussed at him because, you know, it was a brand new phone. It was a sidekick. Y'all remember sidekicks? Ooh, I was male, dog. I was trying to be like Paris Hilton. So, y'all don't remember that commercial, Paris Hilton, the sidekick? I guess y'all were busy working. So, you know, I was mad and I cussed at him, and when I cussed at him, he was like, oh, really, I got you something right now. You want to cuss and disrespect me? And, you know, he put me in his car and he took me someplace, and, you know, he did things to me. You know, you have this whole Me Too movement talking about that, but, you know, that pig sexually harassed me. And, you know, then he dropped me off at a train station. And I went, you know, that night, and I went home, and I woke up my mom, and I was crying, and I told her what happened. And, you know, my mom, you know, she is a fiery woman from Trinidad and Tobago, and nobody can tell her nothing. So I was like, oh, my mom's about to go off. And I told her what happened, and my mom told me, you know, I can't tell nobody. And she said, because they'll kill you. And, you know, I called my mother today to tell her about the movement, and I reminded her about that story. And I told my mama, guess what? And she said, what? I said, I have power now. I have power now. I have power now. Yes. Yes. So don't cry for me and don't feel sad for me. Cry and feel sad for the millions of African people that don't know about the African People's Socialist Party, that don't know about the leadership of Chairman Amalia Shatella and Deputy Chair Ona Zanea Shatella. Cry for them. And then once you're done crying, find them. Find them and bring them. Find them and bring them here. Because they need power now. They need power now. But now you have power now being in this building. You have power now watching on the live to make the choice to join the revolution, because there's no gray area when it comes to the revolution and imperialism. None. And that's imperialism's way, because it forces you and pushes you into this parasitic system called capitalism, forces you to support it, forces you to feed it. So if you are not connected to a revolutionary party, to this revolutionary party, then you ain't killing it. You supporting it. So you have to join. You have to volunteer. You have to put your resources into here, because that's what it's about. One Africa.
One nation.
One nation.
Africa.
So now Haas is going to tell you how to join and get on the right side of history, the right side of the question.
Uhuru. So everyone here, if you're African, only Africans can apply. And if you have your tote bag, it's applications to apply to be a party member of the African People's Socialist Party. Do you have anyone here now who wants to register, like apply to be, you know, a party member at the African People's Socialist Party? Anyone? Uh-oh. Got one hand.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh. Okay. You want them to come up? You want them to come up? You want them to come up? No?
Oh, we got another one.
Another one? Uh-oh. Three.
Oh.
That's what's up.
I feel one more person in the building tonight. I feel one more African in the building tonight that wants to be free. Wants to be, woo, where you at, where you at? Stand up, stand up. All right, everybody keep standing up. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up, stand up.
Stand up.
All right, 1, 2, 3, okay. Bakari, OG in the house. All right, back at it again. Okay, like a sequel. Here we go. All right, the spirit is telling me one more in the house tonight. One more in the house tonight. Where you at? Where you at? Where it at? Come on, just one more. One more that wants Africa to be free, to stop the colonial borders, to unite us as one Africa, one nation. Come on, y'all, one more. I feel it, I feel it. Oh, I knew it, Lord. Yes, Jesus. Stand up, brother. Yes.
Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up. Yes, yes. 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 We got another one? Oh, Lord, Lord.
Oh, no.
Oh. Rise. Stand up. Come to the floor. Yeah. Come to the floor. Come to the floor, Brandy. Come to the floor. Come to the floor. Comrade. Come to everybody that wants to join. Come to the front.
Come to the front.
Come right here. Come right here.
We got to see your face. Stand right there.
Come to the front.
Stand right there. Brandy,
Bakri.
stand right here.
Ushindi.
Ushindi, stand right here.
Bakri, come on.
Bakri, come on, OG. Woo, that's powerful. This is powerful. This is powerful. Woo! 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 Yes, brother, yes. Yes. Woo! Come right here, brother. Come right here. Touch my hand, Lord. Yes, yes. This one right here. This one right here. Let me tell y'all something about this brother right here. Let me tell y'all something about this one right here. What's your name, brother?
Abdullah.
Abdullah. Come on, y'all. Round of applause. Woo! Woo! Let me tell you something about Abdullah, okay? We have Sunday rallies every Sunday, okay, in St. Louis, all right, at the Uhuru House on West Florissant, all right, right on the north side. You know, it's real hood there, okay? North side, okay? I called Domino's. I said, Domino's, I need a pizza. They said, okay, what you want? I said, sausage. They said, all right, what size? Medium. They said, what's your address? North side. They said, "Oh no, I don't know how to tell you this, sir, but we don't come there. It's kind of. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but it's not safe." I said, "Oh, you a pussy? Oh, you a pussy? Oh, I didn't know Domino's serves pussy pizza, but it's okay. It's all right because the chop suey ain't afraid of the hood. So I'm gonna get me some fried rice, sir." Anyways, y'all, that's what we have the Uhuru House, and this brother right here, Abdul. He drives 2.5 hours every Sunday to come to the Sunday rally and travels back. Woo! Yes! 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 Woo! 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 Is that you, girl? Is that you, girl? Is that you? Woo! Maisha. Never would have made it. Never would have made it. Oh, girl, you made it. You made it. Oh, she took a long time. Round of applause for the local president of the International People's Democratic Movement. All right, y'all. Woo! This is powerful. This is powerful. You know, I went to Oakland, y'all. I went to Oakland, and this comrade met me in Oakland. Child, how long you drove?
We didn't drive.
Oh. They flew. Whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, Lord! Riverside. Girl, the twerk contest later, girl. Not now. This is for the party. Oh, it's a party too? And the twerk contest? Okay, girl. We gonna win that. Yes. All right, round of applause for Riverside. Oh. Riverside. Oh, oh. Oh, Lord. Sister, just do a little fashion walk right here for us. Just do a little fashion walk. Yes, do a little fashion walk. Yes, yes. She don't play. She don't play with that makeup. Yes, the hair. Oh, I know where she about to go. I know where you about to go. All right, y'all. Give it up for the future of the African nation. Yes.
All mine. This one's working. This one? It wasn't working earlier. I might want to troubleshoot it.
Yo.
Two. Yeah.
All right, so I want y'all just to pass the mic around and just say your name and quickly, what made you come up here other than this fabulous outfit I got on? Can we have a round of applause for this outfit? Yes. People say, Gazi, where your pieces from? Where your pieces from? I said, you know, we got a little Ghana, we got a little Amazon.com, and we got a little Goodwill, okay? All right, so let's pass down the mic.
Uhuru, I am Isoke Kenyatta, and I just want to work to help our people be free. I'm tired of the systems that bind us and bound us, so I just want to work. So if this is what I need to do to help my people be free, then that's what I am.
Uhuru. My name is Maisha Ellison, and let's see, the girls and I have been in the movement a little bit over a year now. So it's time that I go party. So Uhuru.
My name is Malika Alexander, and I've been preparing for this my whole life.
This is my beautiful, lovely wife, Malika Alexander, who held me down while I was in the belly of the beast for 27 and a half years. I love her with all my heart, all my might, and all my soul. I met her when she was a 13-year-old girl. I was 14, so I don't want you to think I was robbing no cradle. No. So, but what attracted me to the movement is the powerful leadership of Omali Yeshitela and his queen, Una Zenea. So I'm just happy, I'm proud, I feel at home here. I feel like this is natural to me. I'm in my right skin, I'm in my right mind. So I just thank you for your support, and I just want to be a part of this movement. Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Revasai. I joined the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement about 2 years ago. I have a son that'll be 2 in December, and the more I'm in the party and the more I get political education, the more it deepens for me how much power I don't have and how important it is that I build a new world for me, for him, for everybody. So that's why I'm joining. Uhuru.
Uhuru, my name is Israel. I did a lot of partying in my life, and this is the party I want to be at.
I missed last one, but this is the party she want to be at.
My name is Bakri Olatunji from Oakland, California. And I want to say that once I heard from Gaida, she talked about how we come into this work with colonial baggage as Africans, and we have to fight against that's in us as well as we do against the system. And she said, whatever African comes in this work and whatever takes you out for whatever reason, you got to fight like hell to get back up in here. So I'm back here for that reason. I have to fight not only would overturn what's in myself, but overturn this damn system that put it in there to begin with. So that's why I'm here today.
Uhuru, my name is Ushindi Watu. I left this work a few years back and got my ass kicked out there. We need organization, and there's no organization like the African People's Socialist Party. So I'm returning back to this work. Uhuru.
Yes.
Hey, DC. Uhuru, my name is Brandy Arrington, and I could say like some long drawn out stuff, but let's just make this official, and it's time. That's why it's time. And I like to win, and I know this is the winning party. You know, we we need to be free because we not. And so for so long, you know, I had these aspirations and, you know, this, if y'all know me, I'm very like checklist type. So I had this checklist of what life should look like and what I needed to do to get there. But I know that none of that's real, that's artificial. I can do everything right and still not making it. And if one of us make it and none of us make it, then, I mean, the rest of us don't make it, don't matter. So I am so happy and it's time to do this. So thanks, Columbia, for making me stand up back there.
My name is Walia Brooks. I wanted to make the commitment to come back into the party because the African People's Socialist Party is the only organization around that's dedicated to liberating African people, and I'm ready to do the work.
Uhuru, my name is Mtambwe Bekizitha. You know, it ain't much in this world that makes sense to me no more, right? And I struggle with a whole lot of shit. And I wanted to use the Congress to, you know, like, to give me that empowerment to get back into the work. And I told my daughter that I didn't want no attention. I just wanted to. My daughter is Director of Agitation Propaganda, Akile Anai. I had something to do with that, y'all, something to do with that. But really quick, I said I didn't want no attention, but she brought me up here because I need this, right? I was just gonna fill out my application and just send it on in. But I'm here because nothing don't make no sense. Only thing that makes sense in my life and it keeps me sane is African internationalism. And it sounds like such a hypocrite when I'm in the barbershop and I'm kicking everybody's ass, but I ain't kicking ass on these streets.
Yes.
You understand? So I'm here. I'm here to be empowered, recharge my battery, and my organization needs security. All right, Chairman? Yeah. Uhuru.
Uhuru! 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 All right, y'all. All right, you new members, you have to stand right here. Look at the people, though, because I need you to promise the people something, because you're doing this for the people, right? Say, hell yeah. Now listen, being in the party ain't easy. Nope. It gets rough sometimes. And you gotta remember why you came into it in the first damn place. All right? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all ever seen a Bruce Lee movie? And you know Bruce Lee go up the mountain. All right, because Bruce Lee wanna become a better fighter. Because he knows somebody coming to the village to whoop his ass.
Yes.
So he goes up to the mountain to become a better fighter.
Yeah.
And he finds senseis. So I'll be Bruce Lee, so I'm going up the mountain, y'all. So I'm going up the mountain. And I'm up that mountain, y'all. And then here comes Guy to Cambo. Nigga, you ain't shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Whooping your ass. I'm like, okay. And then I learned, and then she said, all right, you good, keep going. I said, okay, here I'll go. You know, you like, well, damn, you know, I had high hopes. Kind of humbled me a little bit. Here comes Chimarango, what you want, nigga? I want to be free. Oh, you want to be free? That's what y'all niggas always say. Come here. Okay, oh, shit, oh. You're walking wrong, nigga, you're walking wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, Chim, I'm sorry. All right, this is how you do it. Bam, 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 I learn, I get better. All right, you go up that mountain. Oh, Lord, here come Deputy Chair Untitled Chapter. Here she come. She come with that sword. Let's call this sword criticism. Here she come. And you look at her, you're like, oh, wow, that's a beautiful dress you got on, Deputy Chair. She says, nigga, woo. She cut you deep. She said, you need those cuts, though. You need them cuts. Because I got to cut you now. So when white power cuts you, don't feel nothing. Because my cut hurt more. Nothing. I said, oh, dang, all right. So she said, all right, you all right. Keep going up the mountain. I said, okay.
Keep going up that mountain. You're at the top of the mountain now, okay? Here come Chairman. Is this what come up my mountain? This what they let through my mountain? I said, yeah. He said, oh, shit, all right. What you think you is? I think I'm a revolutionary. He said, nigga, He said, nigga, you ain't know nothing about no revolution. I don't revolution, my nigga. What the fuck you talking about, my nigga? Shit, I'll tell you about revolution. K-Fing, this nigga say he want to be a revolutionary. Yeah, little nigga talk about he want to be a revolutionary. Hey, he don't know shit. He ain't know shit. He don't know a goddamn thing. Woo! Woo! Let me tell you, them ass whoopings hurt. And sometimes you get so wrapped up in your own pain. You know, you forget what you on top of that mountain for in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Who put you there?
Because somebody come into that village to whoop your ass. To whoop your ass, your mama's ass, your kids, take everything from you. Got a boot on your neck. You want your mama to be free. Yep. You want your kids to be free. You want a future. And sometimes them ass whoopings hurt so much, you start to think, well, maybe they my enemy. Nah. Like Deputy Chair says, the cuts gotta hurt here, good. So when they cut you, it don't hurt. Chairman said, I gotta show you how to fight them. So when they show up, they don't put one finger on you. So I gotta put these fists on you first. And then you go back to that village after you learned everything. And then hear white power show up. I heard somebody wants to be free. Where's Ghazi? Let's see. Here I am. And white power try to hit you, you say, oh, what the hell? This is so weak. What the hell? You slow as fuck. Ha! Now you understand what them criticisms was about. Now you understand what all that hard work was for. Because the struggles that happen in the movement are so intense that when you out amongst the people fighting to be free, the people gonna look at you like, damn, he fast. Damn, how he know the enemy was gonna do that? Yeah. Shoo, he submitted a self-criticism to us. I didn't even know he did nothing wrong. Damn. Wow, this is somebody I wanna be behind. They gotta lead me, cause dang, somebody taught them real stuff. And that's what this is about. This is the real McCoy. All right, don't let these banners and PowerPoints fool you.
Nope.
Okay, this the real deal, the Bush. The shiznit you were reading about. All right? And that's why it feels real. But guess what? When you go down that mountain, your mama gonna look at you different, because my mama looks at me different. Your people gonna look at you different. They're gonna look at you with pride, with admiration. They're gonna see you as a beacon of light and hope, and I know it. I know it, because that's what this party turned me into. And it's still turning me into. I ain't come down the mountain yet, y'all.
Not yet.
Not yet. But let me tell you, the goal is to be like Chairman. The goal is to be like Chairman. Hooroo! Because only with that kind of struggle and development will we be free as a nation of people, where we can put you on any place on this planet and they see Chairman shining bright through you. They see the future of Africa, the best child of the African nation shining through you. Their future and hope and everything they've been wanting, shining through you. And that's exactly what this party is about. And if you is ready for that, serious commitment, Yep. Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Say it to the people. Say hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, if you a party member in the crowd, I want you to say to them, does it feel good being in the party?
Hell yeah.
Does it feel good being in the party?
Hell yeah.
Woo! Are you developing?
Hell yeah.
Are you ready to fight?
Hell yeah.
Are you ready to lead?
Hell yeah.
Are you part future of Africa. Stand up. Stand up. Thank them. Thank them. All right, Uhuru. So now.
Uhuru, Uhuru. Give a round of applause again to SG Ghazi. Uhuru. Great presentation, and also I would like to, acknowledge and see, like really, this is a real commitment for everyone up here, taking this stand, for the future of African people, and that's a real serious commitment, and prepare yourselves for a lot of criticism, self-criticisms, all that stuff. It's a part of the process. That's the development necessary. So, without further ado, I'm going to show y'all the registration forms that y'all should see in y'all tote bags in that black folder. This, huh? Oh, Chairman. Oh, I didn't know that. No one told me. Okay, all right, here we go. Here you go, Chairman.
Uhuru, first I want to thank Comrade Secretary General Ghazi Kozo. Because what Comrade Ghazi did was to share with us the qualities that we believe contribute to developing real cadre and forces who really assume the role of the advanced detachment, the Vanguard. But we can't have this discussion using examples of the real heroic stance of the African People's Socialist Party without also recognizing Comrade Louise Kinshasa. Those of you who have not yet had an opportunity to meet him or hear him will do so before this Congress is over. And I don't want to usurp that. But I do want to say that Comrade Louise is the person who took up this mantle years and years ago. He's married. He lives in London now. He's from Congo. We've learned so much from Comrade Louise. We would annually go to Europe, building the African Socialist International, and Comrade Louise would host us, would organize the meetings that we would hold in London, would take us into Brussels, in Belgium, would take us to France, and throughout what they used to call the United Kingdom, and even today, our presence in Europe can be attributed to the work, the tireless work, the most selfless work. You will not meet a more selfless comrade than Comrade Louise Kinshasa. You will not meet a more selfless comrade. There is no sacrifice that he has been unwilling to make. He travels throughout Europe. He builds us here. We take one step forward in Belgium and then 2 steps backwards. And then Louise has to go back in to build in Belgium, to build in France, to build in Sweden. Then from there, he's in Sierra Leone. And from Sierra Leone, he's in East Africa, in Kenya. And from Kenya, he's in what they call South Africa, in occupied Tanzania. This comrade is a genuine soldier. And I'm just saying that he will have an imprint on the African People's Socialist Party and the unfolding development of African internationalism. He is the most astute intellectual in our party and in our movement. And if we really want to understand, read the Burning Spear newspaper, and you will see the works that he is responsible for. He is truly our expert on the question of Africa and the African liberation movement around the world. When I met him, that wasn't exactly the case. But he's assumed that responsibility, and so I just think it's extremely important for us to recognize this comrade, this unassuming, extraordinary leader in our midst, again, who has been selfless in in the contribution that he makes to our revolution and our party. I want to thank you, comrades, for stepping forward, because I want you to be like Comrade Luizy, just like we talk about all these other comrades here. And part of what I mean by that is Comrade Luizy has never, never, never asked for anything for himself. Never has he done that. But he goes everywhere it's necessary to go to forward the struggle of our people. He is just an humble revolutionary force. He is a real manifestation of the selfless character that we assume revolutionaries ought to be. So I just want to recognize this comrade, Luizy Kinshasa. Uhuru! Uhuru! We refer to him as Mwalima, the teacher. And that's who Comrade Luizy is. If you want to get a fix on African internationalism, if you want to really learn and understand any of these questions that we're talking about, you need to be in sessions with this comrade, Uhuru. Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. I want to say Akwaba, which in Tree means welcome. Welcome home, Uhuru. Should I say, is there a way that you can say Omowale in the plural? But Omowale means the son who has returned, doesn't it? The prodigal son. But we got some sons and daughters here as well. Welcome home, Uhuru.
Thank you, Chairman. Uhuru. So I'm not gonna try to talk because I just rant. So look out for these forms in the black folder in your tote bags. Fill this out and turn them into registration to yesterday, and she'll give them to us. So it's pretty long. Make sure you read this thoroughly. It's a lot of content in here. So know what you said, what you signed up for, and all of that. So Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades, I'm going to have DeCiona come back up to the stage so she can announce our grand total for today's first day of the 7th Congress. Uhuru.
Uhuru, comrades. So I know we had a goal of 75,000, but today we've raised $84,193. I just want to appreciate everybody who keeps supporting the African People's Socialist Party and all the work that we're doing. We'll keep forging forward. We're not looking backward anymore. We're going forward. So we really want to appreciate each and every one of you and for your continued support. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Wasn't this such a magnificent first day of the 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party? If you know that African liberation is this room, let me hear you say Uhuru. 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 All righty, so before we close out for this afternoon, I just want to remind everyone about our Black Power Masquerade Ball and Awards Ball that is taking place tonight. This will also feature a silent auction as well, and it's going to be located at the Randall Gallery, and that is 999 North 13th Street, St. Louis. It's going to be a party, y'all, so y'all got to come and party with the party, okay? Make sure you come dressed to the nines, because I ain't taking no prisoners, all right? All right. Uhuru. So at this moment, to close us out, I want to bring back up Secretary General of the African Socialist International, Comrade Luizy Kinshasa. Uhuru.
been a great day. It's been a day of victory. So we're going to have a few chants before we close it. Vanguard, Vanguard must lead. Vanguard, Vanguard must lead. You think they can hear you in Africa from here? You're going to be louder than this. Vanguard, Vanguard must lead. We have to know that the whole world is watching. Everywhere, from South Africa to Brazil, from Australia to Europe, 1.5 billion African people need to watch this. And you know, we catch hell everywhere. And the reasons we look at hell, today, 58 or some 6 years after the so-called independence of African countries, one of the main reasons is that African people around the world do not have access to the African People's Socialist Party. The reasons we do catch hell in South Africa, in the US, in Brazil, in Congo, all these places, our people, the African workers, the African peasants, do not have access to the African People's Socialist Party. So this Congress is the only place in the world where the African proletariat, the African working class, is sitting down, working out the strategies, as you heard many times different speakers speak about, and the chairman in the report talked about it. For the next 5 years, we're mapping out how we're going to move. And our people do not have access to it. And the reason we're here is to win as many people as possible to get the message of the African People's Socialist Party, to get the report from this Congress to every single African in the world. That's why we are here. That's why I'd like to salute the leadership and vision of the chairman of Mali Sitera. Because you all know, if you're armed with African internationalism, you cannot lose any debates. You cannot lose any debate. You're going to win every single debate against the African petty bourgeoisie and against the bourgeoisie white power itself. It's simple as that. So that's why we need to take this report to the world and win our people to the revolution. I would like to salute once again our comrades from Union del Barrio for taking time to be in this historical Congress. And it's clear to me that our victory is certain. I can just see what we can do with the number we have today. Just imagine, next year, 2 years, 3 years, when we have recruited 100,000 people, 100,000 Africans in the party. You can see our freedom is real. Our freedom is coming, it's real. There is no doubt about it. So, saying that, this has been a very historical first day of the 7th Congress. We are building a new world before our eyes, and we will see you all here tomorrow, beginning at 8:30. And of course, we're going to see you all at the Black Power Masquerade Ball tonight. Is that right? One Africa! One Africa! One nation! One nation! Uhuru, comrades.
Uhuru, comrades, I just want to say, as you're leaving out, if you see any trash or anything else around the area, please pick it up and throw it away. Okay, cool. We got one more announcement, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
Uhuru, comrades, please bring back everything you've gotten today. When you go home and you have your programs and the political report, we need you to bring it back tomorrow. We do not have extra. So please bring it back with you, your name tags as well. And then also tomorrow, just as a reminder, whoever has paid for your lunches, you will be getting a new meal ticket for tomorrow. So check in with registration when you get in the morning.